Previously, in the Age of Ashes, the heroes had tracked the Scarlet Triad back to their base in Tannesen Tower. But when they arrived, they met someone they did not expect. And she looks up across the party, the dagger in one hand, her rapier unsheathing with the other, until her eyes fall on Resme and just go wide.
Resme? What are you doing here? Near a dozen of them up there, and among them is Brzokil Varashma. He's a powerful wizard of some kind. I believe he was...
the wizard's here. He's caused us no end of trouble.
Resme, he was the one who paid me in the first place to investigate the gates of Alceda's ring. Look into Hunter's Gate and see what it was.
Brzokil, you said? We need to know what to carve on his tombstone.
Brzokil Varashma.
Do you want to take up the rear?
That might actually be wise.
If you would like.
Triad forces come and go
Yes.
occasionally through here. It's less so of the last few days that I've been watching.
I have a theory that we can discuss later, but for now, I think we had best take care of these inconveniences.
That doesn't make any sense. Slavery is illegal in Ravenel. They can't do that. Why did they come here?
I'll look at you and I'll raise an eyebrow. Don't make her uncomfortable.
Does she not understand the concept of crime?
She understands the concept.
Okie dokie then, that was a session last week. It was a good session.
Stuff
We got a
happened. People died.
Great
None of us.
encapsulation of all that is what makes Pathfinder entertaining. We had a good combat. We had a bunch of just dingusing around in town. We had a whole lot of character time. And now we get to do one of those three things. A lot. I think today more than most. We'll be happy for these session rolls.
Yes.
Yep.
Take these down the table, comrades.
I
May
mean,
they support
extra
you.
sure not to drop one
Yes.
this time.
Yeah.
You
We have
loser.
recovered the forbidden coin from the floor, which was lost to us so early last week.
Yep.
But as we left off, we had made our way up this tower, Tannesen Tower, an abandoned dormitory in the corner of the Alabaster Academy, the northern half of Kintargo. The first 5 floors had been completely abandoned, as the tower had lost its funding quite some time ago. But the 6th was staffed by a small contingent of the Scarlet Triad on watch. And though they were no major threat for this party so far, we done good. It is only certainly the very beginning of things to come.
Oh boy.
And speaking of things to come, and
Stop.
beginnings,
Stop
boy.
doing that.
Juju 299. Let me write that down
No.
on the sheet of great contributions to victory and freedom. It's going to put a 3rd villain point on the board. Appreciate it. Good. We're gonna have a lot of uses for that today, I think. So,
We should stamp the face of dead characters on each one of those.
That's horrific.
that's incredibly dark.
But it's true.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I don't even think villain points were largely involved in the
They were
killing
not.
No,
of
it
the
wasn't. We just
characters.
couldn't roll above a 9. That was our problem.
Yeah, like, because
They would just be pigheads because of all the oinks.
most of the villain points have not actually. I don't think there's any time a villain points led to a character death.
No, not even close.
I did roll a couple in the Grand Cinderclaw Massacre, but I don't think they were a direct contributor.
They were not.
It would
To
have
the-
simply delayed what was happening
the
by 1
horrible
or 2 turns.
downhill slide that was that battle.
Yeah.
But anyway, as we come back in, sounds of battle here falling silent, you finding yourselves largely in the darkness. Just dim lights of what's coming in through the small windows around the turret outside of the tower itself, as you had quenched all the torches inside. Everybody has either low light or dark vision from various sources, and that was actually I will give you this one. The GM is proud of you. That was a solid play, honestly. Because they did not have that, they're just people.
We have smarts.
I know
That's
that
why I
villain.
asked. I was like, are these people? I know what to do now.
And it did cause a big poison strike to whiff on Resme due to the concealment. So you even got value for it. It worked
Everything
out.
else made contact with my face.
I mean,
I mean, your face is really punchable.
concealment's concealment. It's DC 5, but still, I think you got about the statistical average whiff attacks through that. And
Honestly, that was money right there, not me being poisoned.
And it also burned an
Yeah.
extra villain point.
It did, 'cause you
rerolled that
even
concealment,
rerolled
still
it.
failed I got 2 into a 2.
Things to be grateful.
Well,
Statistically above average, then.
that went well.
We don't really have time to tarry, though. They likely heard some of that. We'd best make it upstairs before they prepare a defense.
Yes, let me go get Valia.
And even as you are saying that, your boots on the stairs behind you, as she's just lightly tapping her heel against the top of the stair, just enough to make sound to get your attention. There's no need. I'm here.
That went well.
Resme, if you would like, I believe you can make me invisible again.
Oh,
And she's,
but of course.
As Valia comes over towards the doorway to approach the group of you, making her way now near silently and somewhat cautiously in the dark interior of the tower, she does look through across the party, seeing the 5 of you, before she loses a bit of tension in her body. Well, that's good then.
Abstentia.
I will be back. More information. Give me just a moment.
Wait, hold one moment before you go. How many were there here? Just 3?
Just 3. We didn't eat any corpses, if that's what you're asking.
No, it's difficult to see. Thank you.
No, not right now. Later. Stop.
Right. Fine.
Look at me.
I know this is no
Keep
time.
eye contact.
There is no true time to forgo etiquettes, but I suppose the field of battle is as close as any. You made short work of them, is all I was saying. And I could hold the stairs behind you, perhaps, but I'm unsure how much use that would be, really.
No, follow us.
Gladly.
All right.
Despite her saying wait, I would have gone ahead.
Yeah, she can't see you, so like.
Yeah, exactly.
Roshin's actually gonna kind of go up to Eleonora and just sort of like examine your wound a bit. Because when she did hit you with that little minor healing spell, you kind of seared in pain and the wound got really dark and angry. Was that like, is your wound still healed, but you just got hurt? Or is your wound not healed, or is your wound worse?
The wound looks the same now. It's receded, but the wound did not heal.
Okay. She'll kind of frown a bit at that, but just kind of nod to herself. Take care of yourself.
And she's-
That's mainly the way that I try to keep people in one piece.
Don't you worry about that. I already have it all planned out. She just taps at the potions you bought her on their bandolier.
Very good then.
And as you're discussing that, Valia at the doorway here, coming through, just kind of assessing the room, approaches Resme and just reaches out and just to get her attention, just gently taps her shoulder.
Yes.
The last time I watched the Vanguard for reinforcements, most of us didn't come back out. I'll not stand idly by while that happens again.
I'm glad you came through it all right.
It's been an interesting few months, to be certain.
Buddy's still all right. He had to go back to Breach Hill.
Yeah, as I heard, that's good at the very least. So things have been well enough since then. I mean, you've clearly gotten on fine. So that spell you cast, was that just simply concealing him invisibility?
Yes. Sometimes the simplest ways are the best ways.
I would,
He's already long gone at this point, obviously, but
I would bear some caution with that. Brzakil Varashman, he's a potent conjurer. I wouldn't put it past him to have some simple warding on the stairways or at least the upper floors.
I'm sure I'm sure that at a certain point this strategy won't work, but we figured for the first few levels at least, where we're dealing with more mundane defenses, it could be useful.
It's wise. Information is valuable, especially in the field of battle. Knowing what we're up against will make it that much easier to stand to it.
Well, it would be nice to not be up against a wall for once.
And, Sheik, as you quickly make your way upstairs here, let me see if I can in one try remember how to do this
Nope.
in Arkenforge.
Fail.
Boom. Aha!
Wow.
Oh.
One click. I'm so good at
You are
stuff.
so
I'm
amazing.
Very, very slowly learning
You
how
are
to
the
use
best.
the software. You again, I imagine, scampering your way up along the wall. Are you on the stairs itself, or are you climbing at the wall? Like I think you were on the wall last time before, right?
No.
Oh,
I was on the wall coming up to the first floor, but when we got there, I stayed on the floor because speed is what matters.
Oh, fair enough. You want to be able to just bolt if bad things happen.
Yep.
Before you
I'm
come
already
up,
invisible.
Yeah, before you come up a better view here, Eleonora, I can't stick around, but have some points to try and not die. The
That is
best
quite important.
I did
Well,
not,
that's
I did
very
not
important.
die with them.
Possible application of points is not getting murdered.
I'm very good at not dying.
So take that, and you will proceed up again to another landing. Simple enough, plain, same as nearly all that had come before.
Whoa.
There's a second one. He's got a stack Destronets in here, not
Making
just
it
one, but
rain.
two. Hit another one, Trishik again, no dying. Oh yeah, get these for
Don't
come around the
worry, I
corner
am
and I do
invisible.
horrible stuff to
They
him.
cannot catch what they cannot see.
See, you say that.
He'll be fine as long as there's not a demon on the roof.
I'm not near the roof.
I think he historically does pretty well when there's demons on the roof, actually.
Yeah, he
That's
just
true.
leaves
I
and
just
then
leave
makes
them
it
there.
Roisin's problem.
Technically, they become my problem.
You would
The first one did.
come up the stairs, seeing again they continue spiraling up before you to, well, I'm gonna put it as a slightly more concerning obstacle than what you had seen previously. Posted up on the landing is a massive structure, near humanoid amalgamation of wood, glass, and tubing. Long, fortified limbs connecting up at the top to a centralized glass hemisphere containing, floating in a greenish liquid, what appears to be a brain. A human brain, stem connected down to some apparatus at the base, and the nerves still running out to a pair of eyeballs floating freely in this morass. Whatever this thing is, it's standing almost completely still, face towards the landing, angled just slightly, and as you come around the corner, the eyes almost appear to be on you. Both of you seeing each other at once, even though you're invisible. After a brief, probably heart-dropping moment, you realize it's just facing that way. It doesn't appear to acknowledge you.
Can I try to identify what this is?
You can absolutely roll me what is going to be either I will roll for you Arcana or Crafting. And
Crafting with a plus 16, and I am
you're an
a
alchemy boy. Actually,
master.
this might be your thing here, Marshall. Before I roll this, I'm going to get one for you. What are you at hero point wise?
0.
You're also at 0. Okay. We smoked them last session, apparently.
Yep.
Blade Tiger's in here for you. Nobody should be the only one with no hero points.
Ah, we
Much
talked him out of giving you a Villa point.
Thank you, Light Tiger.
Talked him down.
Yes.
We knew
job,
you'd
Tim.
come to the path of the light side.
Yes.
So
Plus 16, you say?
Yep. And I'm master for if that matters.
So what you are looking at here, it's clearly some kind of a product of alchemy. Now you can see a variety of different glass canisters, ampules, and containers, both latched throughout its body, and also almost in lieu of fingers, at the end of what would serve for this creature's long wooden
Just has
arms.
little vial fingers.
It literally does. Look at the picture, dude. It's got little
Oh, I thought those were like metal
multicolored vial
claws.
fingers. No, they are.
Let us replace fingers with things that are hard to pick things up with.
No, they're ampules.
Clearly specific manual dexterity is not what this thing was built for.
Everywhere it walks, you hear the faint clinking of glass.
If it was moving, you almost certainly would. The clinking of glass and the creaking of its wooden structure. But there is a whole rainbow of multicolored liquids of different transparencies and viscosities all throughout this creature. This construction, whatever it is. Whether it is brewing alchemical product itself is unclear, but at the end of each arm, these varied canisters also come tipped with a delivery system, each of them seeming to terminate in a short 2-inch injection needle. Probably not a good thing.
Did someone say it's made of wood?
It made predominantly of wood and glass.
I like wood.
So it appears to me they have made a semi-functional automaton alchemy lab.
You can also see that behind it, there is a doorway on an angled wall leading further into the floor. It looks like a fairly large double door, but hung on the front of that is a plaque with bold common lettering, Golem Laboratory.
Well,
Uncommon, by the way.
I'm gonna smack you so hard.
I don't have any hesitation here. I'm going to pause just for that split second, see if I recognize this thing. And I can tell roughly what it is. I don't know exactly what it is. So I will just proceed over to the sconces as planned.
Are you continuing up?
Yep. Just over, directly in front of it, dousing that one, and then the one across.
As you come around the corner, you can see there is a second. There are a pair of these automatons standing guarding the landing. Another large doorway back behind the second of them with alchemical workshop hung up on a sign. Further back down a bit of a narrow hallway, there is a final passage that reads simply storage on a simpler sign, much smaller, on a much smaller frame. So as you come through here, passing very close to this first automaton to get to the sconce, as you move by, it pivots. Having noticed or heard something, it does move. Both of the eyeballs in this green stew turning towards you as the entire top central dome rotates on these shoulders to face down to where you are, as you see the eyeballs kind of dart back and forth.
Now, does it have any form of special sense that I would be inherently avoiding?
I imagine you would be taking precautions against a great many various ways it could be tempting you at this point.
Well, just
I think you have a feat for that, I believe.
I do. I avoid any and all special forms of senses. Blind sense, life sense, tremor sense.
So what are you doing as you make your way through here, trying to reduce your profile in as many ways as possible?
With pads on the hands and feet of the inside of my gloves, make it so that I can skitter around, both either through nimble crawl or while on walls without making noise. I am keeping as low to the ground as I can, kind of like how crocodiles and alligators move. And just maintaining a very low minimum profile, relying on the invisibility and my inherent stealthiness to blend into the surroundings around me.
Fair enough. So as it looks down, its eyes pivoting, almost horrifying as they just roll, attached to nothing but the optic nerve behind them in this sludge. Looking down, it's clear that it's not like zoomed in on you. It is not exactly looking at you. It just noticed something. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna put a cap on that torch.
You move up and snuff out the first torch. dropping the light level on the landing here pretty significantly. As you move away, it pivots the top dome back, the sound of sliding glass on metal, to look back straight ahead of the landing as it had prior. You move over and cap the second of the torches, plunging most of the floor and this whole landing into the dim light afforded by the single window in this eastern wall.
So, about how long do you think it would have taken for me to come up the stairs and take care of those sconces?
It's probably been like
about 30 seconds?
30 seconds, a minute.
I want to check the doors.
Okay. As you move up, pushing between these two things.
I'm not going to open them. I'm checking them to see if they're locked.
Okay. You look first at which one? Golem
gonna
workshop or Golem
Alchemy,
laboratory?
storage, golem.
Right. Looking into alchemy, looking over it briefly, it does not even appear to bear a lock on it, nor does the storage door here in the back. The Golem workshop does possess a latch. However, closer inspection reveals it to be relatively simple. Even if it is locked, there would be absolutely no trouble for someone like yourself to pick it.
I will attempt to jostle it just very slightly to see if I can maybe move the door, open the door even just a little bit. Something that would let me know if it was locked.
And as you just barely, cautiously, maybe a stealth check for that one to actually
Can I
mess
assurance
with
it?
stuff here. What?
Can I? Well,
You have insurance, so you get insurance.
well, I want to roll it. It's been a minute since I actually rolled stealth. 33.
33. You just kind of check it. The door does appear to be locked.
I'll take care of that real quick while I'm here then, just in case.
Alrighty, so for that, I'm going to need a thievery check for sure.
33.
33 critically succeeding will pretty easily pop the latch inside there. And though you move pretty much silently, there's only so much you can really do for the mechanisms of a door. And the lock itself is going to make a soft yet audible pop as the cylinder clicks into place and unlocks.
And with that, I will go on ahead and move up the next flight of stairs just to get eyes on what is happening on the next floor over before I retreat back to the team.
All right, it's probably been about a minute by this point. As you move up to...
And this one, I'm just going to be looking around and then heading back down because I know I don't have a whole lot of time left.
Moving up to the next level, the light returns as this area appears to be fairly well lit. And the end of the stairs indicates this is actually the highest level of the tower, or at least the spiral staircase seems to conclude here, going up no further past the 8th floor.
Yeah, I would stop just enough that I can look around the edge. I'm not actually coming up onto this one.
And as you peer in, you can see that this landing protrudes far back out into the tower itself, crossing well past the medium in a large rectangular foyer with offshoots going off in 3 directions. To your right, to your left, and straight forward. This one seems to be much more subdivided into traditional sized rooms.
I will
You
leave
don't
that.
see anything else immediately.
Yeah, I'll leave that as is and return down.
Dum 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 dum.
As you make your way back down the stairs.
I do like how smooth that is, by the way.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Oh yeah, the floor transitions. It's pretty neato how we can just move up and just boop, and then move up and then boop.
Stop! You're making me dizzy.
Arkenforge is cool. I like Arkenforge a lot. It's really nice. And you end up back down here where it is much darker. You've already quenched all the light here, and would arrive shortly before that spell runs out, I imagine.
Well, I have good news and a bit of bad. There is alchemy and golem lab, 2 constructs at top of stairs, and a 3rd landing all the way at top. I did not bother to go and look there. I wanted to maintain sneaky. And on lab headlock has been picked. We have full access after we deal with golems, but it's not far to next landing. It's possible that the wizard man might hear us.
Oh, well then.
Golems would explain the sounds that I had heard.
They are very alchemical. They look like have a syringe on finger.
Huh, spectacular. That sounds like fun.
I mean, invisibility is 10 minutes.
Sounds admittedly downright
What level
terrifying.
did you cast it?
Well, but if it's just 10 minutes, I guess.
It's just 10 minutes.
Time. I thought it was 1 minute.
Mine's 2 minutes.
That's because yours
be
is an
under
item
armor.
Yours
base.
is an armor rune.
Okay,
Your
if
tip-
yours
The
is 10
spell
minutes.
is 10 minutes.
Okay, well then I'd still be invisible reporting to you guys.
That's fine. That's kind of what I thought you would be doing.
I thought it was 2 minutes. 'cause that's
No,
what
no,
I
no,
used
no.
to.
You got
We're
10.
gonna be able to make it back up the stairs before we fight the golems. That'll work.
Well, I don't know much of golems, admittedly, but
I have ways
do.
to suss out their weaknesses. Perhaps it'll give us some insight. I'd have to lay eyes on them.
I will admit that it's a curious choice for defenders of this tower, given the narrow staircases and, well, just how many floors up it's been. I'm surprised that the stone can hold them. They're small.
They are made of wood. It does not appear to be very heavy.
Did you say wood?
Yes.
They're made of wood? That's so wrong.
They look almost as if you put the alchemy lab on legs.
Interesting. And you said they had syringes on their fingers. Please,
I'm nodding at you and you can't see it. I
our
just
close-in fighters, please be careful of those things.
Oh, of course. Lovely.
It's gonna be-
Gonna get
Although-
stuck by it. I just know I'm gonna get stuck by
No,
it.
I have some antidote on me. But please be careful. Let us
Just give it to me now. Just get out of the way.
here have some antidote. Take some antidote.
Tastes vile.
I imagine our options are going
I've
to be
tested
somewhat
worse.
limited. How large is the landing? How much space do we have to work with?
is roughly
You too.
approximately 30 feet wide, about 40 foot back to door,
don't
with lab on both sides, giving you 10, 15 feet of room.
Smaller than this floor, though. More like the one below it.
Significant, much smaller.
It tastes like cherries.
That's good. Well,
You said there are two constructs. Are they large? Do they take up the entire stairway themselves? We might be able to bottleneck them.
They do take up a lot of space, yes. I do not know how agile they are, but there are two of them and they are relatively big.
As much as I don't like fighting uphill, perhaps we could bottleneck them in the stairway. Take them one at a time.
So should I remain the same size or should I grow when I fight them?
I think if you grow it, we'll need it because you'll need to be able to reach over our heads.
That's true.
my only concern then perhaps is if we're fighting something so large and so volatile, the longer this fight goes on, the more noise it will make, the more likely the reinforcements might arrive from above.
I
or even
think
from further within the floor itself.
that's pretty inevitable at this point.
It's an unfortunate risk
fair.
anytime you do a siege.
It explains why no one has come down to expect this then, I suppose. It's just
If the golems only have
Constructs.
orders to stop anyone coming up, they wouldn't care about any noise coming from downstairs.
right, it makes sense.
It is also possible we could simply walk past. If their instruction is defend lab, not defend the landing.
Sounds like a very dangerous gamble we'd be making there.
I wonder.
They did also appeal to be very sensitive to minor noises. They did not see me, but they did hear me.
Interesting.
I wonder if the magic on them is capable of being dispelled or if it's more mechanical.
Well, let me get eyes on it. I'll let you know.
All right.
Well, if we're going to head up, though, I want to be ready for any response they could have.
Oh, I'm always ready.
Would you like to try to head upstairs further and get ahead of us and let out while we draw themselves? Will we draw them?
Perhaps if we're given the opportunity, it might not be a terrible idea for some of us to try to get around them. Myself
Landing is
and-
dark. We could simply walk past.
I don't know about the golems though, but we'll find out.
Let's go.
We also have this invisible lizard. If the two of us can get behind him, it leaves much more room for you to bring your weapons to bear.
Would you like to be invisible as well?
I certainly wouldn't protest.
Advarum.
Fair enough then. You all go up the stairs. I will follow at behind on as a 20 count. That'll be good enough. Just scuff your feet, I suppose, if that sounds good. Wherever you got to.
So, Drajig and Valia, both invisible, are going to make their way up and to the second level together.
I do love being useful.
Each of them
You're always useful, my dear.
sneaking past the pair of golems to, well, imagine just pretty much immediately to the other side. Are you going to be aiming to go any further than that, really?
No, maybe like just 5 foot feet back, so we're not directly in front of where they're going to be standing.
That's fair. A little further up the stairwell.
Enough to where we can see the other stairs, but we can't see into the room exactly like that.
Like that. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna switch the two of you so that because the vision comes out of you, obviously.
Marshall, rage before beauty?
I suppose.
Just get in the back, Resme.
But I've been wanting to say that for so long.
I'm so proud of you.
He's
that you
just
kept it
shaking-
down that entire
Like
time.
he's just holding his axe. He's just like, why?
Eleanor Armadale, would you care to walk beside me?
She's
Marshall comes around
gladly.
the corner
She
and
actually
throws
has her
Resme to the
sword out.
golems.
She's tapping on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to get herself ready.
So,
Roisin will walk to the rhythm, but every other beat. She can't walk that fast.
What is
Somebody appreciates me.
So what's the arrangement? Roisin, Marshall in the front here.
Roisin, Eleonora, and then side by side, and then Marshall behind us, and then Resme behind him.
That way he can grow big and still reach things.
Yeah.
He's got space. I
Be
gotta
smart.
do it vertical style. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's where
exactly.
you're actually gonna be when we get down. to the,
We are smart. And then, of course, the problem
No, no,
being
that's
that we might not be smart because they might just go, breath weapon. We don't know.
nuke
That's why we
everybody.
split.
Stabby McStab.
There's
you
also
guys, you'll be fine.
And I'm chugging the.
The two people who would be
I'm
fine
chugging a Drakeheart
regardless.
mutagen.
Hi, Mom.
I need Valia's mini.
Ooh.
Oh, it's right here. Yeah.
Convenience.
I was a level of prepared. And by
Yay.
prepared, I mean I didn't bother to put it away after book 2. So, ha
I can't see anything.
By the power of being lazy, I was ready. I will turn the light level up a little, just so it's still dim, but so the map's not quite as invisible. Is that better?
That works.
That's nice.
Alrighty. So the group of you come up around the stairs here. And as you step up to this precipice, to the top, within view of this first of the alchemical monstrosities, these insane constructions, the same sliding sound of glass on metal, almost what would normally be fairly subtle in the near silence of the tower here. Deafeningly loud. The eyes focus on Roisin and then Eleonora, before with a moaning of strained wood and sliding metal parts within, the thing raises an arm and steps out towards the stairs.
So I'm going up the stairway with my shield raised, by the way.
Oh, fair enough. Clearly intent on defending the landing. And it is, in fact,
Is it initiative time?
it is initiative.
There it
time,
is.
friends.
Was anyone scouting?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was a scout, yeah.
Uh,
It was the same thing you've been doing the whole time. I'm imagining that hasn't changed.
Not bad.
Ooh, I'll take
We
that.
want to play for today's battle. Let's head here. I think it's been a minute since I've used this one. And then Sirenscape. Our sound here certainly needs more explosions.
Ooh. I like a little bit of dash of explosion.
I'm gonna hand you that so I don't have a 4 on my
Explosions, releases of steam, sliding metal, and giant footsteps. That sounds like some golems.
Yeah.
I mean,
scouting, right?
that.
Yes.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah.
here
I was seeking. Right?
is a spindly boy. You
Spindly
can see
boy.
his horrifying needle fingers.
Golly, looks like
little
something
better.
out of Dishonored.
And the bestiary
Yeah,
box
it
only
does.
had one of those, so we're going to bring back Doorboy from Also Does Ring because he's vaguely the same color. So
Doorboy.
Close enough, right?
We love Doorboy.
I don't know who Dualboy is.
There's
Doorboy.
much better
It was the
picture.
boy that was the door.
Oh my god, it's a
I
two-carter!
love two-carders.
It's a
man.
two-carter!
Oh.
It's got a listing for every stupid syringe
That's
you can
actually
stick me with.
kind of. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really do like the aesthetic of that art.
The art is actually fantastic. I really like the
is pretty
look
cool.
of it.
Can you tell me what the bonus on that antidote is that I drank? Because I
Same.
have a feeling I'm gonna need it.
+1.
Okay,
It's just a basic antidote.
awesome.
Okay.
Is it... It's item, right? It's an item bonus.
It's an item
I'm also
bonus.
going to shift this to be a little more centered before we start, so I'm aware that's going to make me remove everything. Okie dokie, so with our new fancy initiative token art, Eleonora, what do you got?
After you.
Right. I don't know why I ask you.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten used
Always
to not
last.
asking
asking yet. Resume.
I got a 17. I'm sorry.
Is your
17.
name Resme?
Golly, why do I do that? I'm so sorry.
Roisin, Resme, they all sound the same to me.
I got a 32.
That's pretty good. All right, Roisin, very excited to go here.
17.
Are you excited to go?
I
Or?
rolled a 1.
Okay.
But that's okay, because...
This is the first time you actually get to see them, so you get the very disturbing giant robot. May I ask what mapping program is being used? Absolutely, right down there in the corner behind the card, right about yonder, is the logo there. It is called Arkenforge, and it is specifically designed for the kind of hybrid play that we have here, where it is broadcasting to a screen that we have on the table, like physically here that we're using to play on. It gives you all the cool parts of the virtual tabletop, the nice maps, the dynamic lighting, all of that, but also is very easy to control without having to have like 2 different Roll20 clients open. That's pretty neat. Trishik!
33.
Ooh, one up him. And Marshall.
I also got a 32. Did you want to go first, or did you want me?
I'm thinking you should probably go first there.
All right, then
Big
I'll go
Chungus
first.
put here in the middle.
Chungus
All right, so we have a
Amongus.
huge divide. We have negative 50, 17, 32. So
It's just a 0.
Now, what's important is
Is it
they
a
roll
0?
Yeah,
suck.
it's initiative set 0.
So
I guess,
theoretically, you could
yeah, like, is it?
tie with a party member with a penalty to Dex who rolled a 1.
Don't
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was
don't
thinking.
say
If you
things
had
that make
somebody
them
was
be
sneaking
nerdy.
and they had
This is
negative,
what happens.
if Buddy was sneaking and he rolled a natural 1 and was untrained in stealth, he would also get a 0.
I hate you guys.
He could after you and theoretically not go last.
Buddy's Dex 8.
Stop talking.
But he is not Dex 8.
This
but
is the
hypothetically.
conversation. Never ends.
Okay. Giant monstrosity number 1. And I will use. Oh, I got these crowny bits. I like the crowny bits. Giant monstrosity number 1 is going to get a 34.
Why?
See, you all are using after you. You just don't realize it.
Giant monstrosity number 2 is going to get a 30.
Thank God.
So
That's actually
because
perfect,
I'm
actually.
invisible, does he still not notice me? I take it.
He would not be aware that you and Valia are there, and I need Valia as well, actually. Who? Thanks to a cool program that Edawir, the guy who shows me how to do everything that makes my life better in Pathfinder, showed me. I have a nice, cleanly printed stat block for. Valia coming in with a 33. Rogue boys.
Tied with
High
me.
five. We're roguing. We're doing it. Who wants
Do
to go
it.
first?
Take
You or
on
her?
Rogue.
Probably me. Unless she like has a thing she would prefer to go first to do. I don't know what she does.
Well,
So-
you can't really
I've-
check.
I've-
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
have a whole lot of tacticals in here. So previously, for allies, we were just using our regular skull tokens. So when we made the Eleonora tracker, I asked Bryn that we should probably also have like an allies tracker
to flex her artistic
to
talents.
flex her mighty artistic
Is this
valor
the happy face?
after making.
Yes. So
I don't know
happy.
exactly how visible it is on stream there, but it is literally just.
But for
it's
Valia, you need to just flip it upside down.
It's Ella's old artwork.
Just Photoshop the
Yeah,
smile.
it's Ella's
turn it
old
upside
artwork.
A lot prettier. Not hand drawn.
Valia never smiles.
Alrighty, so
Impossible.
who's who on the golems? Let's see, this is top golem. So top golem is going to step out, unclear of what exactly is going on here, raising one of these big arms, almost at an angle and out away from it, sort of like it was a wing. It's a very awkward pose as this thing lurches forth. Incredibly thin frame, but a massive amount of space and a very large actual structure. This thing's probably about 9 feet tall up to the top of this dome, towering over everyone. As it points this hand vaguely towards the stairs and sees whatever is in front of it, the fingers lock together into a triangle of these 3 needles all pointing outward. And with a pneumatic thunk, the top one is actually going to fire off of its hand with the release of steam from behind at Roshin.
That's wrong.
Roshin, this is a 26.
26. She is ready for it. That shield is up and deflects that thing off into the ceiling.
And as it hits your shield, it actually will shatter and blast, washing everyone with a strange oily substance that as soon as the glass shatters and it hits the air, catches and burns, releasing its own blast of steam. It's going to do 3 points of acid damage to Roshin and to Eleonora and to Marshall.
That could have been much worse.
Yeah.
And it's going to fire another one.
Ow. Please stop.
Machine
I
gun.
don't think it's done.
This one coming in for a 35 on a natural 20.
35 on a natural 20. Okay, so the force from the first one kind of wrecked the block a bit. This one is going to stab straight and pierce a pauldron right on Roisin. Although she is going to slam that shield down and try to put it back in the way with a shield block reaction.
Alrighty. So, as it strikes, the needle punching into your shield, even still that force is going to rupture the glass, and it is going to blast, sending a wave of a noxious green liquid, thick almost like a tar, across those same 3 people at the top of the stairs. And I need all 3 of you to make me a fortitude save.
That's the thing you get +1 against.
Do I get
I'm
plus
fine.
1 from the antidote against this?
It
Is
is.
it a poison tag?
It is not a poison.
Oh, then never mind.
Session reroll. Sounds like an excellent idea.
You are correct, my good friend, sir.
Yeah,
That
nat
is-
20.
There you go.
20s are good.
That's
Nat 20s
money.
are good.
So that's 2 critical successes. And what do you got?
33. 33.
33 would succeed, but you're actually just getting splashed, so you're okay. What did you get, Marshall?
Do you need to ask?
I do.
39.
39, you're good, and Roisin.
Roisin
got
got
the
a
nat-
38 with a nat 20.
And you got the nat 20. So this liquid, thick and unpleasant as it is, isn't going to have any immediate effect other than just being generally unpleasant. Trishik,
Well,
back here.
luckily,
No damage to my shield from the...
None whatsoever, no.
Interesting.
It's just a little needle in a glass vial.
Another class 5.
luckily, I just picked up a couple of special arrows that would be mighty useful against a thing like this. So I'm going to draw out one of those 2 corrosive arrows, load that into my bow, and plink it right into the right in the center of this thing, where it looks like all the important mechanical bits are.
Okay.
We're gonna start melting away at its core. For a 39.
A 39 is going to hit it real solidly. That's going to critically hit.
Actually, it's been a minute since I crit with the bow. I gotta look at what it does.
It pins it.
Deadly
unless
D10 and it's pinned.
Unless it doesn't roll a 1.
Yeah. So let me grab a D10.
And this is the one that's at the top of the stairs, right?
Actually, it has...
Here you go.
I've got some.
It doesn't spend an action. So that's good.
Hmm? So 5, 11, 22, 24. Can it bleed?
No.
I didn't think so, but worth asking.
The one robot cannot bleed.
It could bleed oil. Deadly D10. So 22 becomes a 29.
Okay. So as you strike,
It is now enfeebled 1.
But you also crit.
as your arrow punches through, how are you pinning this thing?
Well,
Give me some creativity, boy.
I just spewed corrosive acidic powder across its core gears. It's not that it's necessarily stuck in place. It's stuck.
Okay.
The lower half mechanism has frozen up.
And as it kind of locks up and shudders to move there, it stops, making its way towards the stairs, stuck in place,
And it takes 1 acid damage.
and takes 1 acid damage. And this arrow that strikes through, punching into the center of this beast, in this mash of metal and clockworks moving throughout its torso, shatters one of the canisters contained within the body itself, loosing a blast of freezing coolant across Roisin, who needs to make me a reflex save.
Oof.
I'm just not rolling well on these. That's gonna be that's
Yeah.
gonna be a hero point, actually.
Hero point.
I don't.
okay.
I get the feeling I don't really want to fail these.
I am going to shoot it again after this as well. So
Thank you,
Yeah, it can
Arcadis,
take you a
for that
minute.
hero point.
These things do lots of stuff.
Hence the 2
It's
cards.
slightly better. So that's going to be a, let's see here, 15 plus 22.
22 is going to fail. So this coolant comes out not just freezing, but a liquid concocted to keep the heat generated by the gears and belts, the pipes and the oils running through this thing from burning the wood of its constructed form well below 0. This gout is going to deal 40 points of cold damage.
Jesus. Oh, that hurts so much. Okay. She'll like, kind of thing as you see crystals just form over one of her eyes.
Freeze across your shield.
Yeah.
Really.
Rhyme. Just shield gets a little heavy.
Well, I'm going to plink it again. I see what it's doing, but making sure it stops doing anything seems pretty important. So,
Yes. Not bad.
so 16, that's a 30.
That 30 will hit.
Yeah. 6 and 5 is 11. 16, 18. So it takes 18 damage.
So as that second arrow strikes, it's going to hit, and the head of the arrow is largely just going to glance across the wooden frame of the creature, barely landing any of that damage. This thing seems to be quite resistant to your arrows.
Which I guess I'll make that a skirmish strike and back off.
Seems smart.
You see it explode and just blast cooling all over the shit. Like, no.
Ooh, that looks like it hurts.
Oh,
sucked
don't
when I'm over
like
here.
it.
Valia is might have a different reaction. Her weapon already in hand. She is going to step forward to the base of the stairs here, up against the inner wall of the stairwell itself. Rapier out, clearly readied for a strike. Should the other, should one come within her reach, but not quite suicidal enough to walk on the landing by herself in front of all of them.
Run out between both of them and then
No.
attack.
Huzzah, you fiend! No, Marshall.
Well, judging by the map here, it doesn't look like I have very much room. But, because if I grow big, I feel like I'm just going to be squishy.
If you go big, you are going to force Resume down the stairs. But
Yeah, that would be bad. So
the thing is also still going to be around the corner from you.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm going to come around from the corner.
Marshall, however, has no such reservations.
Get me wine.
You want to be in front of it or
Doesn't
never
matter.
mind. Yep.
It's irrelevant. Which of the squares he chooses there is a complete irrelevance.
I mean, there's no point reaching if I'm going to be right in front of it. So I'm just going to get really, really angry and take a whack at it.
I assume these things can see in the dark.
They seem to have no problem targeting you here, regardless of the organic components up top.
Can see in the dim.
With my axe blazing, 39.
39 is going to critically hit.
Woo!
Woo! Axe it a question.
Doing the thing Marshall does.
Oh, bad rolls, though.
2 and a 1 on 2d12.
Unfortunate.
What? A 1 and
so
a 2
that's
is
gonna-
12?
The D6 of fire did something, maybe. Let's see.
Fire
That's
will
gonna.
definitely catch it. It just lost a lot of coolant. Fire's
Yeah,
great,
true.
actually.
True. So that's gonna be 20 regular and 5 fire.
Alrighty, so as you strike it, your axe is 20 slashing.
Yes.
Your axe is going to strike, and colliding against the wood of this, just barely scored the outside of it. Whether this is part of the construction, a treatment of alchemy, or what, it is also phenomenally resistant to your axe. You're
Surprisingly
going to do
sturdy.
almost none of that.
Huh.
The fire, however, will bite through perfectly fine. But what you will do is...
Persistent burn.
Oh, you crit him with a fire rune. That is, in fact, persistent damage.
Yep.
You are going to strike it. Your axe will quite cleanly cleave through several pipes and tubing, and you see the fire from your axe race up inside this creature through whatever liquids it was pumping.
Yes.
But from several of these other pipes spray out almost what appears to be water at first, but on contact with your and Roshin's skin.
So glad you guys are up there.
Phenomenally painful. I need
Like-
reflex saves from both of you.
Reflex?
As you
Okay.
loose yet more.
I'm kind of happy they're over there, not
Nat
me.
20.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Marshall doesn't care.
You got
He's just unfazed.
You just literally see him sidestep go, ha ha!
It's too angry. It's too angry for that. 27 this time.
27 still fails.
It also is
Sorry.
taking persistent acid as well.
Okay, so it's got several.
It's got all the
effects on
things
it.
wrong with it.
So after this blast of coolant from this ruptured tank, you are going to feel an incredibly numbing and fatiguing agent spray out as you take 38 points of poison damage from this hose.
Oh.
Do you have poison resistance from that thing? 'Cause there's no. It's just straight damage. It's not
It's
like
not
giving
damage.
you
It's
a
not a
poison.
poison effect, so I wouldn't get it.
So it's just poison. Yeah, it's just damage.
Antidote gives you a save bonus on like fortitude. It does not give you poison resistance.
So Roshin's skin starts dissolving and like blood starts running down her face.
And kind of a disgusting
Like Raiders of the
look
Lost
from
Ark we talking?
from your left.
Well, I
You
mean,
haven't even gotten to go yet. You're just getting hosed with
she's-
everything.
She's again like screaming every time it hits her.
All right, Resme.
Resme, seeing her friend in front of her get horrendously injured, will allow green warming light to wash over her from the back of the stairs, and it will bathe you, and sort of the stuff that's on you will kind of start to fizzle and gush away from the life-giving magic.
Who could possibly imagine that hitting the thing would be the greatest threat of all? It doesn't even have to attack. It just has to stand there.
So it's gonna be 48 point. No, that was 58 points. Sorry.
More than doubled my health. Thank you.
Oh crap! I forgot to multiply the damage earlier.
And
You already got
then
that, right?
Oh wait, did you not times two it?
No, I didn't times 2 it, so it would be 40 regular damage then.
Okay, so this would be 20 more.
Yeah, because I
explodes
did crit,
again.
so my bad. That was my bad.
and
No, that's
with my
just
last
thought you were
action, with my knowledge of alchemy, I'm actually going to attempt to recall knowledge.
You can't see them.
No, but
Pretty far down the
but
stairs.
he told me a lot about them. I want to see if there's anything
He
else.
gave you some information, but without like really seeing
Got
the
it.
specifics of this, you
All
wouldn't
right,
really be able to.
I'm not moving though because I like it.
Up there looks bad. You're doing great.
Yeah, I'm gonna be right here. Right here
job,
is
guys.
awesome.
She's pocket healer. Let's go with that.
Alrighty. So the second is going to lurch up alongside, and as it does, as its foot falls thunder onto the stone, in a flash, Valia spins around the corner to strike at it with her rapier from her hidden position.
Nice.
She is going to get a 37,
Mess them up, boys.
which crits.
Wow.
So as her rapier flashes around, and a War of Steel, she does have to make concealment. She does not have low light vision. She passes. So that's going to crit, and her rapier is going to strike across the hand of this thing as it's already reaching out. The first thing that comes into view, shattering through a pair of the canisters, serving as its fingers. And she has got all of these because this is a sneak attack. Because this is what's dropping. I guess nobody actually saw her before that. She was still invisible.
Yeah. Just flashes into view.
Hello.
Well, hi
Hit
there.
it.
I hope you like pain.
She's gonna hit it for 48 points of piercing damage,
Very nice.
which it is still going to be some degree of resistant to.
She rolled significantly better than my crit.
She rolled pretty hot, actually. But as she smashes through these fingers, they are going to shatter into this same clear liquid that had sprayed across Marshall already in any reflex saves from you and Valia.
It's not from me.
I'm
not immediately
gonna
into this one.
go
I am
ahead
not.
and just turn this in because I feel like it's gonna be bad.
Well, you've seen Roach get just honest.
Much better.
What do you got?
37.
37 succeeds, so you're gonna take half. Valia has a 40 on your reflex save.
Of course.
Has an 18 on the die. So she is going to dip back behind the wall here, already having gotten to see what's going to happen as this sprays past, just dampening the opposite side of the stairwell, having no real effect on the stone.
That's why she waited to have the wall between her and the explosion.
But Marshall's going to be a little worse for wear, taking 19 points of poison damage.
And that's cut in half already.
That's the half, yeah.
Okay, so
He's been taking like 40. So
fair.
That is a good point. Didn't Valia get a dark vision
I
elixir?
think we forgot to
No,
give it
well,
to
he did
her.
not have a dark vision.
I-
elixir.
No, we didn't give it to
She didn't
her.
ask for one either. It's not dark, it's just dim.
It was in the plans.
It was in the book. We just didn't do it yet.
But as this golem is stricken, it was already
Man,
pretty
we suck
committed.
at this game.
The one finger left on its right hand, just reaching out, and with the same kind of pneumatic hiss, rather than launching the vial, the finger extends outward towards Marshall
No.
to poke him.
No pokey.
To poke him for a 33.
That is a hit.
Alrighty, and as he pokes you, he's going to inject yet more of this liquid, this right hand having been loaded with whatever this poison concoction is.
Oh no.
And you are... My D10 is gone.
Good.
I don't know what happened there.
Just roll a d8 instead. It'll be fine.
No dice.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. That is going to catch you for 20 points of piercing. Do you need that back?
Not really. Have multiple d10s.
20 points of piercing damage
Okay.
and 8 more of poison. So 28 points of damage total.
Okay.
And then its left arm comes out, still raised sort of like a wing, angling around this corner Valia is behind, as it just reaches blindly and extends another finger out around the corner, trying to swing at her. And that is going to come for a 28, which, with her in cover, she's actually going to flatten herself back against the wall, and it's going to pass just in front of her, just barely missing as it extends.
Nice.
Don't you know it's rude to give people the finger?
Roshin.
All right.
I shook my head so hard I hurt my neck.
Arch yourself, Colby.
So this blast of freezing, more acid, explosions, and then Resme's healing energy is gonna kind of soothe all of that. Her skin's gonna kind of grow back, and her eyes gonna open up and blaze scarlet. Nuktug, and she's going to get a vision of weakness. So she's gonna see this thing on the battlefield dying to the method it is weakest to. What is this thing weak to?
All right, so you see this thing striding through, magic raining down upon it. At this point, you've had encounters with golems in the past. You're somewhat familiar with how their construction works. It's shrugging off near all spells that land upon it. Wizards and sorcerers all blunted in their efforts before a small halfling steps forward. Harp in his hand, strings a single dissonant note, and the sonic energy rips through the thing's dome, shattering it as it falls to the ground.
It's weak to sound? Is it weak to anything else? Because I get all of its weaknesses.
And then the halfling walks up and smashes him with his harp, and the bludgeoning damage seems to do pretty good too.
What we call a hard rock halfling.
Hard rock halfway.
Or
Eh,
Or a telekinetic pebble.
sound and blunt, smash it to pieces, or sing at it, I guess? You're not sure where Roshin's pulling all this crap from, but yeah.
Even Marshall looks back at you and goes, "What?"
You look over at Eleanor, she got a thumbs up already.
you hear Severin squawk really loudly.
Thing explodes. God.
They both just die. We'll make a reflex save.
She's going to drop her sword, and she's going to fumble her Morning Star out.
All right.
And she's going to smash this Morning Star down on it. Because of its vision of weakness, I see how it moves, so I get a +2 status bonus to this attack.
Okie dokie.
Fancy. Although, you know what? I think I need to start setting an
it's a jail
example
time.
here. That may or may not actually be worth it. Give me a minute. 27.
27 will hit.
Okay, I'll get you out of the jail. You didn't quite fail me as bad as I was afraid you were going to. Oh, actually. Alrighty. So that's going to be fairly unimpressive. That's 10 bashing. That's it. Yes, 10 bashing.
All right. Well, as you hit it, your Morning Star cracks into a lot of these mechanisms, some of the glass parts inside with a solid crunch. It does not resist that at all. It takes all 10.
Nice.
And I believe that brings us to Eleonora.
With all that
Assuming your vision
info,
of weakness was an action.
Vision of weakness is an action.
Okay.
with all that information I just got, Eleanor's gonna carefully put down her sword. And
Against the split
she's gonna. I have just the thing right here, and she has in one motion. She flicks her hammer out, does a twirls in the air. She catches it. She also spins with it, and she just tosses it.
Okay. Now this thing does look pretty damaged as you throw it up over Roshin's head. It doesn't have cover because it's so tall that you can aim over Roshin perfectly fine.
And for a 29.
29 will hit it.
Cool, and I have a cool little feat that gives my thrown weapons my panache bonuses. Ooh, I did not call it finisher, but... And I'm throwing dice like a madman.
But very nice.
That's what
dice.
marshals do in second edition.
I mean,
6, 11, 21 bludgeoning damage. As it flies around and she comes back in one motion, it swings back around, she catches it in her hand. She looks, oh, I can see why Bew likes these things, and she just wants to toss it again.
As that first one strikes, it cracks against the dome on the top of this thing. Spider webbing cracks throughout the glass, and you can see this green liquid start to run out from the top of it as the brain and the eyes inside rattle. It is heavily damaged.
Oh, that
Good
is,
hit, my dear.
that is absolutely foul.
I don't like the way it smells.
I rolled a natural 1. Gonna take that one and just throw it over
Into
there.
the jail.
Nah, it's in exile. It's not even in the jail. Doesn't even get the honor of going in jail.
okay, I'll leave it
Yeah.
out then.
But well, and this one she kind of mistimes her step, and when she goes to throw it, actually slips. Some of the liquid gall on the handle slips out of her hand, just
Hits Roshin in the back of the head.
bounces off of Marshall's axe and comes back to her again. Huh.
So, as we come back around to the golem, the doors at the far end here fly open as you hear a voice running up to them. No, 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 no. The door flies open. No, stop. And then she sees that there is a fight happening and shouts something I can't say on the family friendly channel and turns back around. Never mind. Alarm, we're under attack.
Oh no, they're murdering someone else by mistake again.
Now you need to roll me some more initiatives.
More initiatives?
I'm just going to put these guys all in one blob. As you can see, the group of them here in this chamber. And perfectly fine light pouring in from within. You can absolutely... What is it I'm looking for? Here we go. You can absolutely see that the light pouring out from this doorway has raised the light level in here back up once more, though it didn't seem to be making a whole lot of a difference to robots in the first place. Lads are going to get a 24, which I believe puts them here. And then Giant Monster Bot number 1, who is enfeebled now, is going to raise up its other hand and lock its fingers back in this triangular shape again. And from almost all the way up at the elbow, its entire forearm is going to and jet out towards Marshall. A trio of stabs. Stab uno. 26.
Just barely hits me.
That one jetting in with a static crackle, electricity discharging out from whatever conductive liquid it contains within. You are going to take 30 points of damage between electricity and piercing. I don't think you have resistances to either of those, but I can swim them if you need me to.
Nope, I do not.
You have raging resistance to something. What is it? Bludgeoning?
Bludgeoning, and as a dwarf, I'm resistant to fire.
Okay.
Also irony.
And irony.
Bludgeoning or fire, I will give you. The second of the needles with a 23.
23 does not hit.
And the third,
He just kind of ducks last minute.
third even lower still. So one of these catching you, You can see a brief flash as Marshall's beard starts to static and stand out a bit as he's injected with this strange
Little puff of smoke and everything.
electric concoction.
Oh, bit tingly.
Trishik.
Well, some of those gears are going to continue melting.
Well, you can't. Oh, you're right. He's got bleed and he's got acid on him.
Yep. So,
He's also got fire too.
That was on acid and fire, not bleed.
yeah. So he takes 1 acid and how much fire?
1.
1 acid and 1 fire.
Ping, 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 ping.
Witty.
A pair of points of damage. Alright, Trishik. And acid fire ends, acid does not.
Oh.
It kind of
Oh,
ran out
no.
whatever was up that tube.
My damage, you have to wipe it off.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not intelligent enough to do that, so I think that regardless.
It doesn't
And it
have
doesn't have
opposable.
hands.
Also, it does not
Yeah.
possess hands.
It has lobster
like
claws
it's
for
a powder
hands.
that clings to whatever I shoot, and you wipe it. That's gone
You
forever.
fail.
I did. So that is an 11 to hide. So that's a 33
Okay.
again.
and 33 against its perception, right?
Yes.
Okay. Also, like, literally doesn't have line of sight to you right now, so
Well, you still have to beat it.
that's fair.
I'm not invisible
It can still
anymore.
hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I will skirmish strike, stepping forward and hitting the arm that it extended to shoot at Marshall with an arrow.
All right.
For a 36.
36 will hit.
We have figured out.
Oh, it's flat-footed to you.
Ah.
Ah.
6 will crit.
Oh.
Do it.
All right.
It was critting in the stars.
So, 10, 14, 32, 41, and it is, it's enfeebled again.
And with that strike, that arrow rupturing the central unit, the containment it seems has in the middle, as that shatters, mechanisms clanking and thudding against each other from the damage it's taken, the sound of grating metal and splintering wood, as its own clockworks tear its inner mechanisms asunder. The thing collapsing, its legs folding inward as it goes down to the ground. And you hear the lady that'll just open the door. No, are you serious? No! It was like 5 seconds!
And I will
But
attempt to hide.
The central chamber blasting is
It's not
to
the one near
release
you.
It is the one near
It
you.
is the one.
It is going
Oh.
to release one final wave of electrically charged liquid. Its own just base water and malfunctions, electrifying Marshall and Roshin. Any reflex saves?
More reflex saves. Ugh.
Ooh. 36.
36 will succeed. He'll take half.
27.
27 will fail. He'll take all of it. Roshin's not going to dodge.
I'm not good at dodge.
These things are really neat looking,
They are super neat looking.
Yes, they are.
which I'll take.
Marshall is
replace
surprisingly.
There you go.
They look like
Here's
Christmas
Doorman.
lights.
They look like
so
a scarecrow from.
You are going.
Batman.
Marshall, you will take 19 points of electric damage. Roshin, you will take 38
Okay.
Right.
as this thing finally grinds to a halt.
Marshall's looking pretty messed up from this.
And I will attempt to hide again. For a 28.
All right. And that will bring us to Valia here around the corner. This is the situation. She's gonna retain her cover. She has seen what's happening to Roshin. And she sees the state of Marshall. And Valia is going to, let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Just doesn't have the movement. She is going to move up, darting under Marshall and around this thing as it collapses, up to the doorway here. With a quick strike from her rapier.
She was about to close the door.
Awesome.
Wrong address.
We'll be
Not
right
that
back.
She was there. She is going to get a 38 to hit,
Nice.
which is going to critically hit.
Hi, I'm here.
Hello! And he just runs in the room. Rapier strike. Give me all of these, please. Not nearly as good of a roll. Math. Oh, well, actually, that's a great roll. That's actually 52 points of piercing damage.
What?
That she is just going to stab into this Triad member's chest here, staggering her backwards, cutting her outcry short as she quickly turns back to the party. 3 of them!
She seems pretty confident in the fight.
Marshall.
Marshall, got some burns from the electric shock from earlier, and he's looking a little tired, but he's definitely got a lot left in him. He's just like, oh, these things really do got quite the punch. Well, I guess round 2. Psychs himself up, and then grows big, and well, this won't do it. I guess I better use my head.
Nice.
Unarmed strike, let's go.
Bludgeoning damage, I guess it counts.
Weren't we gonna buy you a hammer? I thought we were gonna buy
We were I am definitely we were trying to get a hammer, but we did not succeed. So I'm going to exchange that hero point because that was a terrible roll.
It lost feeds.
Slightly better, but
Better.
I doubt it'll do much because that is a 24. That is probably not going to hit.
24, you whack your head on the wood, metal, and glass robot, and it makes a pretty solid thunk, leaving a pretty decent impression in Marshall's forehead and probably at least a couple of splinters. But that you realize is definitely not going to be enough to do it. It is immune to non-lethal damage,
Oh.
which is what your fists will be doing
Oh,
as a
I think
construct.
that makes sense. I'm just like I literally just pulled out of the splinter out of my head. I'm like, well,
You still have a action.
no,
actually.
psyched
up.
Oh,
up,
he's psyched. I always forget
psyched up,
psychs in action.
grew, attacked. Yeah.
Resume.
Did you have to grow a return?
I thought he got
Yeah.
last turn.
No, I didn't grow last turn.
I thought he did. That was on my bet because he moved up rage
Yeah.
this one.
I got you.
Next level, I can grow without making a turn. So
Resume will walk up behind Roshin now and whisper Allegro and cast haste on you.
there we go.
And then looking and seeing that thing. Now, can I see the one that's in front of Marshall yet?
From there you can, yes.
Can I get a recall knowledge?
Speed button.
Got that hasty
There's
spell.
my fast button.
Get it? Because it's like haste.
I'm gonna.
All right, so yeah, you can't critically fail, so you can just roll it.
Okay. Well, that is a 1, so I can.
Never say never.
Okay.
Okay, that's-
That is much better. That is going to be a 33.
33 will succeed, and as you look upon this strange alchemical golem here, I don't know if there's a ton that's really helpful beyond what Roshin's already barked out. These things are going to be quite weak to sonic damage, as a large amount of their construction is glass, which will reverberate pretty significantly with that. But smashing it does work pretty okay. Outside of that, physical attacks aren't worthless, but they're incredibly resistant. But you would also know that due to the fact that a large portion of the thing is wood, while any kind of cold magic won't hurt it, it will slow it down.
Just in case anyone can freeze things, that's not a bad idea either.
I think that's your department there.
I'll put it on the list of things I can't do.
And with that,
I'll second that.
With that, this second golem is going to turn, reaching up, jetting out one finger towards Marshall for a 34,
That's a hit.
which is going to do some bonus acid damage that sprays an incredibly corrosive agent. With this attack, you are going to take, what was the big one? 30
30.
points of piercing / acid damage, vastly majoritively piercing.
Marshall.
Its entire hand rotates at the wrist to put another needle at the top and jets that one forward as well. For a 17, actually.
Marshall, he took the first one like in the chest pretty hard. He's like, and it like burns. But as he's wincing, he sees the second one coming and just veers his head just out of the way.
But as that misses, almost immediately, rubberized, not emitted, it retracts back and jets again. I'm gonna villain point the 17.
Oh.
We're gonna get Edawirs up in here. I too have rerolls.
Sad.
Much better. 33.
Ugh.
Okay, never mind. The second one will.
Second one's gonna come around.
Yep.
This one is going to shoot a burning oil though, so you get your resistance to the fire damage on this. So I'll tell you them in parts.
Okay.
You are going to take 11. It also does just barely catch you. 11 points of piercing damage, and then 8 of fire, less whatever your fire resistance is.
So it would just be 3 fire then.
3 of us. So only 14 total on that second
So 14?
strike. That one just barely catching. Before this thing relentlessly continuing, launches one final salvo with a 27.
Just barely catches me.
This one is gonna be fire again. It's got the oil loaded up, so get resistance again. Whoop. This time, 10 points of fire damage. She'll take 5, and only 9 piercing. That was a 1 and a 2 on the D12.
So 14 altogether.
14 altogether.
Alrighty.
Those last 2 hits much weaker.
Marshall kind of like actually drops down to one knee for a second, and he's like huffing. He's wheezing a little bit. He's like, I'm not done yet.
He's also like on fire. He's poison all over him. He's electric.
The fire doesn't do anything to poison.
You're still on fire. You just don't care about it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make you less on fire.
Sure as hope you ain't done yet. The music's still playing.
In this doorway here, as Valia goes to stem this tide, the Scarlet Triad alchemists are going to muster their defense. And you are going to hear several crossbows fire from within the room as bolts sail forth. One with a 28, which is just going to miss her. And one with a 37, which is just not going to crit her. That's definitely going to take that one.
Volley is getting volleyed at.
Valia is going to take
Hey, she's doing her best.
12 points of piercing damage, and she is going to make a fortitude
From in
save.
the alchemy lab with the crossbow.
She's getting a natural 20. Local lady too angry to die. But in the front here, you're going to see the other doorway. I have to move this real over. The other doorway fly wide open as well, as the alchemist within boots it open for a clear shot before grabbing a sword and lashing out towards Valia as well. With, it's going to hit her. And she's going to take a further 15 points of slashing damage. She's going to take 27 across a pair of hits. And you can see a few Triad technicians inside the room that have been moving around to get angles. You can hear scrabbling and grabbing for weapons, cursing coming from inside. And the one of the doors, she lashes out and catches Valia, and she kind of twists with a bit of grimaces, not super hurt. Calls out again, "That thing was massive! How did you destroy it in 5 seconds?" As one of the southern sets of doors flies open inward as well, revealing yet another of the Triad's agents.
Good thing Trushik unlocked that door so he'd have easy access to us.
Did take her one less action to get the door open. Roshin.
All right.
What a helper.
Well, no, not really, because she didn't know that, so she tried to unlock it anyway and actually got confused for a moment and then opened it.
It's like, what? Did I?
Did I leave the gas on?
So Roshin just kind of take all of this in. There's a lot going on right now and a lot that she kind of needs to try to put together. But first things first, she's going to gather up magic. Krasach! And hit Marshall with it. And all of this red energy is going to flow back inside him as a healing wave.
Oh, that's nice.
That is pretty nice. Let's see here. It's 18, 21, 26 plus 40. So that's 66 health back.
Yep.
Health is good.
Level 5 heals.
You see like the veins in his muscles like pulsate, and he just stands right back up. Ah!
And then Roshin with her is going to stride with haste, slide back past Marshall, and move. I believe she has just enough movement to get right next to Valia through that doorway.
Push into the door into the laboratory itself. And as you would move into the area here, you can see that this room possesses a almost kind of impressive amount of tables spread around near every bit of open space, each of them laden heavy with various vials, tinctures, alchemical experiments and projects in progress, all sorts of reagents and tools. Whereas the 3 agents inside have abandoned that to quickly grab for nearby weapons. The 2 behind with crossbows, they just finished reloading, and the one in the front with a sword out now dueling with Valia, and well, now you.
And she's going to use quickened casting to drop whirling scarves down to 1 action to cast on Famerige, and her symbol of Milani is going to peel away and unfurl into a war banner, which will roll around her into a storm, concealing her.
Ooh.
So I've got concealed condition, and since she's a mist child, the DC is 6 to hit her.
That's pretty neat.
So you're more likely to miss her?
Yeah,
Yes.
what she said.
Yes, that's what happened.
I wholly agree.
Is that your turn?
2 action heal.
Oh, I
hasted
forgot about
stride,
the heal. Right, I was like,
quickened.
I was thinking move? Right, the 66 health. That was an important part.
Yeah.
Well,
Very important.
Well, the dwarf's got most of this planned out. I'm gonna drop the hammer, reach back down, pick up the sword. I feel like I've done this dance before.
So
I mean,
it's worth noting the other golem is completely undamaged. It has not been touched yet.
that's fine. I'll get to him in a minute. I'm more worried about other people shooting in. I can deal with those easy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just dart across to the other guy in the other doorway. 50 feet of movement, so I'm sure.
You're fine.
And you quickly dance past Marshall over
Um,
this collapsed automaton.
If I have more, I'd like to try to get around him.
Let's see, 5, 20, 30, 35, 40, yep, 45. You can get to here.
That's fine.
You can get there.
That's
good.
perfect.
And you move into this laboratory here, another massive workshop of sorts. This one, much more empty. There are a couple of strange workshops, stations that look like crafting equipment of some kind. Doesn't look terribly familiar to you, backed around the corner. But mostly just a few tables spread with notes, journals, and stacked books and studies.
And as I'm running past this guy, I'm gonna bleeding finisher him because I still have my finish. So,
Speed.
will a 27 hit?
Sure will.
Coolio.
Yeah.
Can I have some trash
They're
moves?
very lightly armored. They just got some leathers on.
Losers.
Can I have some trash moves?
Oh, I got here's a bunch. I got a bunch of trash moves, dude. Have a handful of trash.
Handful of trash. 20.
Our screen, we got so many things on the map now.
20, 31 slashing damage, 4 frost damage, and he is now bleeding 46 damage. As I just run it across his back and spin him around to face me.
All right. That solid slash is going to stumble her, but as she just opens the door, Eleanor's before they can even move.
Easy access. That's why I unlocked the door.
And then,
Just no action, yeah.
oh, it was pickups.
Oh, draw your sword.
And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I've
actually
been
5
terrible.
foot
I've been
step.
wrong about literally everyone's action economy today.
As part of the finisher, I 5 foot step even further behind her.
Trishik.
So, if I mathed it out correctly, I can attempt to tumble through this thing's space with a full movement action to get over to here.
5, 10.
Because if I move to there
20.
and then attempt to tumble through using a second move, I would have
Oh, yes. 5, 10, and then 10, 20, 25. Yep, you could.
Yeah, so I want to end up right here.
You don't need to make, give me that tumble through, and you could end up right behind it.
30.
Or is it reflex? That will succeed.
All right. So diagonal
It's big
across
and-
from Marshall.
It's big and pretty spindly, so you can kind of slip under and
Well,
behind
it's
it.
flanked.
Yeah, looks like I'm right where I want to be. And I'm going to attempt a thievery check with my claws into its back to disable this device.
I mean, yeah?
So that's a 33 to hit.
33 will hit.
3, 6, 12, 17.
Oh, he's hitting it.
He's
okay.
just
21.
He's just attacking it.
What?
You're good.
What? I'm so confused.
You guys are such nerds.
21.
21, and it's with your claws, or
Yeah.
so it's your slashing?
Yep.
Okay,
I actually
so-
don't have any blunts.
I didn't think so, so I was checking. Other than your own just punches, which are going to be non-lethal as well. So again, it's going to resist more of that than it doesn't. But your claws are going to thud into the wood and scrabble across, doing a bit of damage. And that gives us Valia.
Actually, I can draw the clan dagger and use that next turn.
It is versatile bludgeoning. You can beat him with
Wow.
the flat side of clan dagger.
I forgot about that.
Those are coming in a lot of handy.
They're actually doing a
Yeah,
lot of
they're
good stuff.
really handy to have.
Aren't you glad I invested in that?
Valia without word is going to move, stepping, and stepping again.
There's my girl.
Cautiously through the room, taking up a not great position herself, but between a crossbowman as she gets herself right up in front of her before whipping around with the rapier to strike at the one that you and her have surrounded, Roshin. Flat-footed. Not a fantastic roll, but 28 will still hit while she's flat-footed. And she still gets to roll all of these dice with his sneak attack. This is D6 the fight. Okay. She is going to hit her for 21 points of damage. This lady, who is at that point, has taken a couple of hits and is a bit injured. The two archers both perfectly fine. She is definitely starting to stumble around a bit as she is set upon by the descending wolves. That is the heroes of Breach Hill and also Valia. Marshall.
Well, since you reminded me that the clan daggers are also bludgeoning, well, I guess those will work. Drops the axe, pulls out his clan dagger, uses the butt of it, smashes the robot.
They're beating it with a clan dagger.
So you can probably catch it. at the
34.
dome. You're tall enough.
Yeah.
34
Yeah.
just doesn't crit with a flat foot.
But it's flanked.
Yeah, with the flat foot,
Oh,
it
yeah,
just
damn.
doesn't crit.
It doesn't crit. Okay. Well,
No, it
that's-
definitely hits. No, yeah, 34
definitely.
absolutely.
I mean, it's me. All right, so that's a D4, I would believe, right? No, 2D4.
You put a
Do you
striking
use
root on it?
striking clan dagger?
Oh no, I didn't. My bad. I thought I did, but I'm looking at my other.
Your dice
dagger.
is where
Now, the
damage
good news is that
comes
it's not an agile or finesse weapon, so you do still get your whole raging bonus.
Yep.
It is agile.
It is agile?
from. Yeah, I got that wrong. Sorry.
Because
No,
I
okay.
put it
Oh,
on my thing and
so-
I'm looking at it right
Well,
now.
let's see. Well, roll your damage. You're gonna get half of one of your normal rage bonuses.
Not your strength
You
bonus.
still get
just
not your
rage.
strength, not your weapon specialization,
Just the
your
rage.
rage, which I'm pretty sure means you're gonna do 5 less.
Oh, just 5 less.
I think it's 5 less.
Okay,
D4
so
plus
it would
5 less than
be
you normally add.
So it would be plus 12 instead of plus 17. So
Okay.
it would be 12 plus 3. So that's 15 bludgeoning
15, and
damage.
it's doing the entire 15.
Yeah, so that's better than
I
nothing.
think that's still better.
All right, so let's see. Dropping is free.
Free, yep. That's
So-
only one action.
That was-
Draw.
Oh,
hit.
draw 2 actions. Why am I so bad at this today?
Because you
I
suck.
got action recovery wrong in every
So-
single turn.
So you have
far.
one more hit
I
if
have
you
one
want
more.
to take it
It's okay, you have
at a
bonus
-4.
Yeah, it's only
-4.
minus 4 because
I might as well do that. Apparently it's working, so
beat the thing.
I'm just gonna beat it to death, and that's not gonna hit. So
New weapons are.
What do you got? It's only minus 4. It's flanked. Stacy's not that high.
okay, so in that case, well, it's a 24, so that's not gonna.
One off. You get one off a critting on the first swing, one off a hitting on the second swing.
Yeah,
Resume.
So close.
yeah, I rolled pretty low. On
But
that
yeah, you
one.
almost had it though.
I almost. Yes.
Resume is feeling a little closed in at the moment.
There is a large dwarf in front of you.
There's a very large dwarf in front of me,
slip
which
over.
which does have its benefits. Don't get me wrong, but I'm also not being particularly useful. So I'm actually going to drop Invis,
Okay.
and then I am going
You were
to.
invisible? You were invisible?
She
No,
means
I'm
she's
going to cast it on myself,
Okay.
and I am going to take a movement past Marshall.
Where to? Past Marshall is a wide variety of sizes.
In through
true.
the door behind Roshin.
You can get to like here.
Perfect.
Because moving through this giant
Yeah, that's fine.
mass of wood and splinters and metal is difficult terrain. The other one, however, which is it's taking some damage now, whether it just has a pure single-minded determination or is a construct that can't think, is still just going to continue hammering Marshall because it literally is not intelligent enough to do anything else. First shot's no longer enfeebled now. Is it still enfeebled actually? Because he didn't.
I hit it again.
I just sneaked it. Is it enfeebled again? It's going to come in for a. 30,
Well, actually, this one was never enfeebled until I hit it.
37 then.
Oh, then that crits.
Enfeebled. Still, he's dialing it in.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
And
Fine.
just keep doing the fire. That's what it's got left. It's got hot sauce.
Good
so
thing
you
I'm-
get to resist it.
And I like spicy things.
Piercing damage is going to be 42
Jesus.
points of damage. And then it's going to be an additional 16 points of fire. So 11, so 53 total is what you're going to be taking.
There's 11 fire. Okay. I literally erased a hole into my paper for health, so I'm just gonna use dice to keep track of my health
As
now.
it just continues swinging. The second, as it almost blasts you back with the amount of pressure laying into the first strike, only coming through with an 18. 37 to an 18. The highs and the lows.
He just he even looks at the robot like, what are you doing?
He hadn't recharged the pressurized thing yet.
Third strike is literally an 11, so yeah, it seems to be losing a lot of pressure to that hand as it is trying to attack. The third one just doesn't even fire at all. It's just a crunching of metal and splintering of wood as it tries to force it through.
I disabled the device.
You have disabled the device, good sir. Now we have the Horde.
Thanks.
The one in here at the door that wasn't entirely sure what was going on, but had a crossbow in her hand. As Eleonora behind her now.
Flash step.
Howdy.
And as you just kind of appear behind the room, she takes
Howdy.
this just spinning. She is literally going to throw the crossbow at you, is her first attack.
Nice form. I can appreciate it.
With a natural 20!
Like I said,
Wow.
Just in a blind
In the
panic,
face.
gonna fling it and hit you right in the noggin.
Now,
She's just
is
as
she
surprised as you
trained-
are.
Is she trained in improvised weapons?
Absolutely not. This is not gonna do very much.
This is
Did
panic.
she even crit then?
With this, you are going to take, not how NPCs work, you are going to take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Best crit
As
ever.
this crossbow smacks you in
Like,
the face.
as it hits me in the face, I'm almost impressed. I just I kind of like raise my like.
So reach down and kind of fumble and grab her sword, and just as she's pulling out, almost seeming to struggle a bit to get it out of the sheath for a moment, whips it out up towards you, almost sort of defensively, just flicking point your direction. How are you so fast? What? With a 28.
Oh, I forgot to call something. It hits.
She is a little more confident as she kind of, this moment of panic passes, gets control. She is not totally worthless at fighting. That one's going to catch you for 13 points of slashing damage.
That's it.
The tip pulls across you. Almost as much as the critical crossbow bonk.
Critical crossbow bonk.
It's a bonk.
I love it.
Meanwhile, in the back, we have the lady who has a sword out and is flanked, who is going to take a swipe at Roshin. Eyes kind of widening, clearly a little overwhelmed. It's going to be a 25.
Concealment check.
Gonna be,
Actually, no, concealment.
There's a
That's
light in the
25.
room.
yeah, there's no. You have the chance to use that.
I have whirling stars.
Oh.
That's gonna miss regardless.
Okay, yeah, it's just gonna scrape across her armor.
Yeah, and then
Doing
she's
nothing.
going to kind of spin around, flipping on the spot, turning her back almost to you fully, ducking down to face who looks like she has less armor, with Valia swiping a 34. Much better luck over here. Going to catch Valia for 13 points of slashing damage.
They're very consistent with their damage.
She's going to stagger, but yeah, it's almost all modifier actions. Before she stumbles back a little further into the room, back towards her ally with the crossbow. And this is man back here with the crossbow. They're stumbling back. What are you doing? Get out of the way! I had a shot! And is going to move to the side. And then loose the bolt that he has at Valia. For a 38, which does not critically hit her by 1. Just barely able to duck enough from this little, signaling of what's going to happen to not take a very bad hit here.
He did clearly say, "What? I had a shot." Like, that's drawing attention to yourself right there. True.
I'm
gonna
going
take-
to shoot her.
Yep.
15 points of piercing damage. Valia's gonna take another fortitude save. She's gonna do remarkably less good on this time.
Shoot.
And yeah, she is going to fail that.
Get out of the lovely room of
For
death.
her to reroll.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
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 Sheik does not want his friend to be
I
poisoned.
think he's lawful good.
He has no idea who this is, but she's helping.
Those are moments of heroism.
Oh.
Wait 5 minutes.
This-
So it's one higher, which does pass.
Wow!
Hero.
Wow! Big brain plays right there.
Value.
She's gonna take that and grit her teeth a little bit, kind of grunt as she staggers with it. And that guy's gonna throw his crossbow onto the ground and just and turn to the woman. Give me your sword. You're useless. And just hold his hand out.
I know very well what poisons can do.
The other one here is going to scramble back across the chair and all the way back to the back of the room before she, too, fires her crossbow. Loosing this bolt
That was
again.
a really
just-
weird crossbow sound.
Valia is getting just
Kind of
absolutely
pin-cushioned there.
Bullied.
just bullied. Oh, 38 again! One up critting here again! And it works out. They're not super amazing at this. They need a natural 20 to critter, so that works for us, I suppose. Gonna hit her for 16 more.
So I remember when Buddy ran into a room by himself full of rogues, he did a lot better than Valia.
Points of piercing damage. She looks okay. She's taking a bunch of hits and she stumbles a bit, but she doesn't look like she's in imminent danger of dying or anything.
Get out of the way.
And she's gonna fail a fortitude save. Oh no! Inevitability. Hello.
Oh, Resme. Hey, they're poisoned. Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Don't die. We kind of like you.
Passes the fortitude.
Woo!
Value.
We will pump money into Valia. And then she is gonna quickly grab another bolt off of the rack of weapons and crossbows they have in the corner here and jam it into her bow. I believe that is all of them, Roshin.
One of them is
Alright.
bleeding.
Volley
Oh,
is.
the one that stepped back is very bleeding,
Oh, sweet goodness gracious. 20.
and that ends
Just because he runs out of blood.
But that's a big secondary hit of persistent damage there from that. All right, now Roshin.
Valia's hero point was brought to you by Haters in Heaven,
And
by the way.
Destronets.
Managing to just tank it out through sheer force of currency.
Buddy, I think we have to discuss some tactics. You shouldn't go running into a room full of enemies. Grime full shock! And the wounded poisoner, the open wounds that have been cut on her, the blood is going to be forcibly pulled out of them and run towards Roshin's outstretched hand, clawing the life force away from her.
I hate it when you
That's
do that.
a fortitude save.
Okay.
I need d6s.
Fortitude save. 33.
33 will pass, so she will take
Probably
half.
regular success, I'm gonna guess.
Yes. So let's see here. It's
Would be surprised if that was anything, but
8d6. Yeah, it's cock die. All right, so Jesus, 18.
Oh, really?
30.
I'll give you enough poisoners. I thought I had 4 poisoners. I guess I
There's
don't.
4 up there.
Yeah, but there's a stick man. Why is there a poisoner over here and a stick man on the table?
Oh, because I literally didn't know that
She's gonna
you
take
handed me
22
anything.
negative damage.
Okay. And with that final surge there, as she reaches back to yell at her friend, there's blood ripping out of her. Eyes are going to kind of roll back in her head, and her skin goes a bit pale, and she just collapses to the ground.
And now you're out of blood too.
And that energy.
That is why the bleeding stopped. She is, in fact, out of blood.
And that energy is just gonna kind of suffuse Roshin's skin and actually give a little bit of color to it. And then she's going to.
That was this one, right?
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, it has to be touched, so. And then Roshin is going to step into the room and move to the other side of the other poisoner right behind her. And that's a hasted stride, and then she's going to smash the Morning Star down at her. That's going to be a 30.
30 will hit.
Let's see here. It's 11 bashing.
All right, Eleonora.
Well, what do you say we go join the others in a fair little dance? I'm gonna leading dance.
Okay.
I do a performance check versus their will DC.
Alrighty.
So a 35.
35 will critically succeed. Her will DC is terrible.
Sweet. So she moves with me 10 feet. I'm gonna move her out the door and back towards the golem. I'm gonna be standing where she came out the door at. I move up and then at a diagonal.
So you want to be right
be here?
there?
And I want her next to the golem. Yes.
Oh, I thought she with leading dance. I thought you kept your position, don't you?
No.
Okay.
It
so
just
she'll be
says
next.
they move with me 10 feet.
Okay.
In the same direction, but since she went out the door, I followed her out the door.
Fair enough.
And then, since I just succeeded a performance check, I'm going to activate my dancing scarf, which gives me concealment.
Dancing scars
And
everywhere.
since it's a greater dancing scarf, I can move up to half my speed.
Okay.
So I'm going to move 25 feet up into the other room. As I just do a little ado.
That's 25 to get you there. Just
Holy.
deposit her by the golem. And just
And now I have panache. We're going to leading finisher, the one between me and Roshin.
Blood everywhere.
Blood everywhere.
thanks.
This is my favorite session. This is my favorite attack. For a 37.
37 will critically hit.
Wow.
I apologize, but I don't apologize.
Sorry, not sorry.
For 10, 20, 25, 31, 37 times 2. So 74.
Say goodbye to Hollywood.
That's a pretty good strike, I think, there. That dude's gonna stumble a little bit.
And then 5 foot step, that diagonal between the two.
Oh my god, you just moved. Roshin's just blinking as you come from nowhere, draw this massive draw cut, spill a bunch of blood, and then flip around.
There's a little, actually, a curtsy at the end towards Roshin.
Man, this one that you draw out, she steps out and then goes to swipe at you as you just, are just gone to the doorway. And looking almost in wonder as you just go. What?
I mean, seems appropriate.
Trishik.
So, I'm going to attempt to use this clan dagger that I've never really utilized too much. So I'm going to draw that, bow in one hand, clan dagger in the other hand, and I'm going to use it like it's a club and just whack one of the legs on this this golem.
They have slap
So-
sound on Sirenscape.
That's 29,
20 will hit.
and it is agile, so I do get sneak attack.
Woo! Sniff.
Sneak attack.
Worst sneaking ever.
It's a little short little whacking thing.
Oh, this is like Rogue 101. Hey, what's that over there?
There.
Sometimes the
So-
old ways are the best.
10.
Mastered the ancient techniques.
So that is 17 blunt damage,
Okay.
and then
No resistance.
I'm going to skitter over into this room, which I assume needs to tumble through this enemy.
It would, yes.
Toomba.
Natural 20. So
You're good.
I'm going to now go into this room over here, and 1, 2, 3. That's all my actions.
Okay, so like here?
Yep. No,
You wanna
like
be against the wall?
up
On
against
the
this
diagonal
wall.
with the poisoner.
Oh, so here. Okay, fair enough.
Yep. Wall between me and them.
All right, Valia, as she takes these hits and throws one hand up over a couple of the wounds, none of them seem to have hit super vitally. Just kind of looks at Roshin. Didn't see much better idea. We had our hands full. And is going to step forward and strike out as she does, stepping forward, playing the momentum behind a lunging strike with the rapier for a 35 flat-footed. That's a crit.
I love it when a plan comes together.
This is a dead poison.
Man is super dead. He just took like
He is
74
omega
damage.
dead.
Now Valia's going to add to that with a
Bunny rabbit.
60 points of damage. He is super dead. He is very, very, very very dead. And then she is going to turn to the last one in the corner here, scrambling to put bolts in her crossbow, kind of looking at the room. It's filling up with people that are on her team. And just quickly shout out, you can make this easier for everyone if you just stop fighting us. She's gonna absolutely fail, we'll say. She's very injured. She's not terribly intimidating right now. Marshall.
This machine, it's a pain in the butt, I'll tell you that. Going for the clan dagger.
Just two. I like how everyone went over to this other fight. Now there's just two big dudes and then on the landing just beating the crap out of each other.
Marshall's got it.
38.
38 will crit.
Utmost fate in Marshall.
You just like see him just get like really riled up with the dagger and just swing as hard as he can with this thing. With a.
To be fair, the D4 barely matters. Like,
yeah, like still with a big guy, it still matters. Yeah, it's a 13 times 2 bludgeoning, so 26.
26 points of damage. I think the crits are where it's better with the X. And as you strike it, you hit the flat side against this giant receptacle in its chest here, shattering it in a blast that seems to almost rattle through this whole golem, dispensing the whole supply of this flaming reagent, this oil that ignites immediately on contact with the air. Needs you to make me a reflex save.
Reflex? Okay. I can math, I swear. 31?
31 succeeds. You'll take half and you have your resistance. Woo. And that is a 1, 1, 1, and a 2 so far. So we're doing solid. And another, wow! Look at that.
Is that less than 5?
Look at that. No, it is 6.
I take
So
1
you
fire
take,
damage.
1 point of fire damage.
Boop.
And as a bit of this kind of hoses out of the back, the Scarlet agent back there throws a hand up in front of her face, and she's going to take 12 points of fire damage.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Okay, I'm a Smacko no robot.
Taken out of her daze from watching Eleanor set on fire.
I'm a Smacko no robot again. It's only -4 because it's agile weapon, right? So.
Yep.
Oh,
Wow, that wasn't even a
It
roll.
wanted the 19. Didn't get there though.
Well, that missed. Marshall is gonna psych himself up with the last action.
All right, resume.
So I need to play smarter here.
Okay, finally, with everyone out of her way, and one might even say a clear cone of path between her and the enemy, she's gonna step forward a little.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't see a clear cone.
No.
But now
there
I
is.
see a bit more of a clear cone.
She will shout out, Infriga Maxima, and drop her invisibility, and a wave of cold will fling out from her hands toward both the agent and this automata, icing everything over and freezing even the walls behind them.
So no rolls, no damage necessary. As this thing freezes and locks up the wooden components of the machine, it is immediately slowed by exposure to this. Its innate magical resistance of its construction and the wards involved in the creation of a golem, it's not going to take any damage. But its frame is definitely going to get bogged down. This other idiot, however, definitely has no particular resistance to cold. And then
what are the freaking odds?
is currently on fire from the spray. So this cold hits him and just extinguishes the flame. And she just looks up again. What? Natural 20. She's going to
Nice.
technically succeed.
And I'm sorry.
She's having a very confusing 30 seconds.
I shouldn't have said what is the odds because I know what the odds are.
The odds are 100%.
Hey,
Forget
there you
bonus
go.
points, just roll
I was gonna say
20s,
one in
remember?
20. Yeah, just roll 20s for it.
And I'll
50-50.
shield,
Either
too.
It happens or it doesn't.
No, I can't
moving
shield,
is
I
kinda
moved.
cold,
Yeah, you're right.
So this golem here,
Slowed.
it only gets 2 strike now. Strike 1,
Value.
still enfeebled by Trishik, is going to be a 32.
Just hits.
And it is out of fire. So as its hand rotates now, covering this cold is a bit slowed down. It's still massive and just pneumatically jetting needles at you, and that part of it doesn't really seem to have been affected very much. Injecting you with an incredibly frigid coolant. Whatever was inside the thing now has been super cooled by exposure to this magic. Hey, at least you're not also weak to cold. You don't have both sides. You just have resistance to fire with no downsides. You are going to take 25 points of mixed piercing and cold damage. And it's
Okay.
going to jab out again for a 29.
So math. Okay, so the first one was
5.
25. Hold on, I'm sorry.
No, 29 is to hit.
Oh,
Yeah,
29.
This is to hit on the second.
Oh, the 29 to hit? Yeah, that hits.
And more of this super cold liquid coming through for 26. You're taking a total of 52 points of damage this turn, and it's
Oh,
slowed, so
Jesus.
that's all it's got.
All right, so 43. Wow. Okay.
Conscious?
I'm alive.
Conscious.
I'm alive.
I got you.
It just
I'm alive.
he's not very happy right now.
In the corner, with his bow loaded, kind of crouched down as Valia speaks up. Just, no! It shoots the crossbow. Up directly at her, almost just mad that these guys can only roll 18s and 19s to shoot crossbows. Which is enough to consistently hit and not consistently do crits. Valia is going to take another 16 points of damage here. And as this hits her, she stumbles a little bit more as the poisoned bolts that are slamming into her are starting to kind of rack up a pretty potent effect. She's going to take an additional 3 points of poison damage. And she's going to make another fortitude save. So it didn't get worse. It didn't get reapplied. So she's okay. She's doing her best. And then this agent's going to load another crossbow bolt, and I imagine the room is freaking collapsing on her. And then she says, "You have no idea what you're getting into here. The Triad will have your heads," and raises it and shoots at Eleonora because she's not wearing full plate.
Concealment.
That's like,
Concealment fails.
yeah.
Natural one.
Scarf
So
concealment.
that bolt, just a little off target, catching nothing. Bringing us to Roshin. She doesn't even have a loaded crossbow to defend herself. No, shoot, load, shoot. She's got nothing.
It's better if she just threw it.
It's amazing. Yeah, I know,
mean-
it works real well. It's amazing how many of the Triad go and start saying that once we start killing rooms full of them. Do they train you to say that sort of thing? And she's just gonna walk right up in her face.
Triad training 101.
Triad training 101.
The Try Harder 101.
And she's gonna raise that morning star to the sky, and it's gonna glow with red energy, and she's gonna bring it down. Booyah Bush, which is 2 actions to do all of that. So that's weapon surge. I'm not gonna roll a natural 1 on a weapon surge. I'll feel bad.
That would be disappointing.
That would be disappointing. So I'm gonna give you that there.
Can't
Hero
be disappointing
point.
to chat.
Thank you, Ghost of Azan.
Now we're fueled by piezo points.
Yeah, yo.
It's better. It's only a 26.
But 26 as you come up. She is pretty on the full defensive here. She is just going to dip away from raising up the deck of the crossbow almost to shunt the blow enough to the side. It's not going to connect for any damage.
Yeah, I'm scared. Let's see. Move, weapon surge, strike, and then she will raise her shield.
And as Eleanor is rushing forward in the northern room, at the southern room, there's actually another one that I totally forgot about. There is this lady here is still going strong, and
She didn't realize she was alive either.
She is going to step back away from this golem. Very confused about what's happening to herself right now, turning and seeing Trishik there. And as she does, she just continues this movement into the room. One hand coming out from within her jacket with what looks like a small, almost clay violet. She snaps in half over her blade as she twirls it around to strike you.
Nimble dodge.
Can I interest you in the 36?
Still hits.
So as she strikes you with that, take a dis. And take a dis and take a dis. Do you have poison resistance, good sir?
No, but I rolled a 35 on my fort save.
It's not a fort save.
Okay. I didn't know if she was applying a poison or just doing damage. So.
It just does
She's
this.
stabbing you with hot sauce.
It really burns in the wounds.
exactly what is happening, yes. Pretty significant burning in the wounds. Hitting you, but still only a simple line fighter with a simple enough blade that is going to catch you for 19 points of mixed slashing and poison damage.
We're gonna call it Tabasco damage.
before she flips the sword back around again, bumping into the table, throwing out one hand to steady herself for like a 21. Eleonora.
All right, ready to go zippy again. I'm gonna run back down to the other room. If I'm counting right, it's 25 to get next to her. It's gonna be right, and then I want to tumble through her. I have 40 foot of movement.
Okay. You can
Where
easily
to?
tumble through here. There's a desk behind her. You
Yeah,
can't
as long as I can
through
tumble through her somewhere.
them. Okay, fair enough.
For a 39 to.
9 critically succeeds.
So I'm through her, and then we're going to swing. As I just,
She swings at Trishik twice and misses the second one because you just go.
Oh no!
as I
you
miss, I
again.
actually catch the blade and bring her back and face me again.
Oh no!
Eyes
Oh
on
no!
me.
Not again!
Eyes on me, dear. First string. 29.
29 will hit.
Coolio. For 6, 12. My math just went off. 16, 17 damage.
Okay.
And then second swing. As I bring it back around with more force. I'm like a Beyblade. I'm gonna. I've got a hero point.
Why a Beyblade?
Because I'm spinning really fast.
A what blade?
Just
A
it's-
blade.
It's
worry
best.
about
It's
it.
best you don't know.
Question's best left unanswered forever.
29.
29 will hit her again.
I forgot to call the finisher, but
I assumed it was the finisher, seeing as you tumbled through for panache.
yeah.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't.
Yep. For 10, 20, 27, 29 plus another 35.
Plus another 35.
35 total.
I was like, what?
35
You need
total.
to stop right now. What the heck is giving you plus 35?
Willpower. And she's bleeding again.
Yep.
We're having fun yet?
No, obviously.
We're here
Well,
in 2020 fighting a
it looks
fight
like the
in one
dwarves
room.
having a blast.
Eleanor's in 3020 fighting a fight in 2 rooms at the same time. Just whip, 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 whip.
And Trishik, she's completely turned attention away from you. What even are you? What is this?
Well, I'm going to join in on the dance, and I'm going to 5-foot step
Oh.
over to here, and then skirmish strike over to here with a graceful twirl as I move 10 feet over, before dropping my bow mid movement and coming in with the claw, raking across the back
Everybody loves the claw.
for a 27 or 37.
30.
Yeah, 37.
I was about to say.
Because math.
37 is a critical hit. I regret to inform you that I think, again, she's not going to be bleeding because she doesn't have any blood left.
That's fine.
Pretty sure it's going to be a recurring theme.
11, 12, 15, 21, 42, and I need a fortitude save if she was somehow alive.
Do you think she's still alive?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm glad we're all on the same page here.
As she drops, Eleanor is once again
And then I will
big-
scoop my bow back up.
a big old smile on her face.
So Valia in the room here is going to step up alongside Rasheen. Again, stepping forth almost with a fencing sort of style, thrusting her rapier outward. But as she twists her wrist to strike in from one side, as she flips as she comes around, as she actually goes to connect for the blow from the other. And she is going to attempt a feint. A 33, which is going to succeed.
Deception versus perception.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Easy.
You mean
And
there-
33 is a regular success, and then is going to follow up with that strike, getting a 36 against the now flat-footed agent
What a shame.
for a critical hit.
You mean there's
Wow.
people who actually make that work?
You guys have just straight up bullied. They should have just left the doors closed.
Yeah.
You didn't search the area.
Just stay quiet, hide under the tables. We're searching, we find them, and just like,
Please no.
here's our stuff.
Please no. Valia coming in with 12, 14, 16, 19, 25, 50. points of damage on the admittedly insofar yet unharmed. But the first hit, a solid 50. As this rapier catches cleanly in, punching right through one side of her torso before she draws the blade back out, ready to continue. Meanwhile, in Marshall land,
He's pretty bloodied up with all the stab wounds from needles and
you got like
bits of bird.
19 puncture wounds. You've been injected with so much stuff.
But the scariest part is you still see him get back up with a tight grip on his clan dagger. I'm not done yet.
Marshall's gonna be high out of his mind right now.
Some hardcore
You've had like a half a
acupuncture.
gallon of alchemical sludge injected
I can
into
taste blue.
That's why he's still standing.
36.
you. 36. One off critting.
Story
But
of
it's
our
slow,
lives.
right?
Not flat-footed anymore. What?
It's slow though, right?
Slow doesn't affect its
Oh,
AC.
damn.
Slow means it gets 2 actions instead of 3.
Oh darn.
And feeble doesn't lower its AC. It's actually not a feeble anymore. She didn't strike in this turn.
That is going to be a 15 bludgeoning.
All right, we're getting there.
And then Marshall is just gonna.
We're batting our way through it.
Yeah, at this point he's just like, I might as well. -4, so that's 32.
32 hits it again. I do imagine this thing is just sitting there, just like, and you just whack, whack, whack.
For another 15 bludgeoning.
Basically just grappling each other.
Rock'em sock'em robot.
Pretty much. And with that, I'm not going to get greedy, and he's just gonna psych himself up.
Now, as you're beating into this thing, you are starting to punch a crater into the main.
You just see him
torso.
literally using the blood end of
The wooden armor paneling on the outside of it having been battered and splintered away, this main chest cavity already shattered, and you're just starting to smash into the clockwork mechanisms that are making this thing run inside of its body. Resme.
Resme is going to, with magic, start flinging the pieces that have fallen off of its friend at this thing, at the glass in this thing,
that
trying
works.
to punch holes in it.
That does in fact work. That's
And Eleonora, when this is all done, we're going to have to talk about why your skin is burning black.
Doesn't respond.
For a
math.
17 plus 19 is like a 36.
36, yep.
Doesn't
Can't
crit
quite.
it.
Can't
I
quite.
can't do it!
But
I
does
mean,
it?
based on what happens when you crit
I mean, this is debatably better than just
Yeah.
regular hit it. Things explode
right.
when it gets crit.
Hey, that's roll.
That'll be 25 points of
Alright.
smashy damage.
And then smashes in, getting itself stuck in the mechanisms. You start to hear whirring metallic components fighting and competing against one another. And wood starting to splinter and rip asunder as this thing is about falling apart.
And I'll throw up a shield.
Alrighty. But it is still up. Ding, ding, ding. It's time to stab Marshall.
Oh boy.
Still slowed. First strike is 31
Hit.
and is still just jetting super cool liquid as it is still very, it's been very flash frozen by this cone of cold. You, my friend, are going to take 24 points of piercing / cold damage.
Okay. Marshall is still standing, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Reluctantly, but he's still standing.
Swing 2. It's gonna be a 23, but I got 2 villain points.
Is it worth it?
But we have a boss fight.
You win this round, Marshall. You talked me out of saving it for the way harder encounter. Or talking into saving it for the way harder encounter.
Yay? Question mark.
Second, stumble back, just going to scrape, needle punching through you an arm and spraying its liquid out the back. The lone survivor. in
Marshall
here.
is definitely doing his best to hate in there.
With this crossbow, as she gets stabbed and kind of reels back, and reaching for another crossbow bolt, just almost thoughtlessly and near equally mechanically loading and just aiming. I think they're point blank shot here, and neither of you have attack of opportunity, so it works out for her.
Yeah,
in this
she can do it.
situation.
I just stand there looking at her like a dumb, like a chump.
This hit, blood kind of running out of her mouth now. That's because you don't understand. Got no idea what you're up against.
No, I think we do.
And,
We've been through this a lot.
Shoots a bolt up to you for a 37.
37 is a normal hit, but I'm gonna throw that shield
Just
in the
cannot
way.
crit you in Valia. They're great rolls. He just doesn't have the power. And you are. I'm gonna need a fortitude save out of you. As you take 22 points of piercing damage less whatever your shield blocks.
Okay.
You could literally just put your shield on the crossbow.
No.
Shoots enough force to shoot a bolt through it into your arm.
Man, I am just not rolling good dice today.
Throw it in jail.
I should actually. As an
Bad
example.
die.
All right, so that was a 24.
24 still okay. You feel it kind of burn and this numbness run through your arm. And instead of reloading the crossbow again, she just drops it on the ground and reaches over towards the rack and grabs the hilt of a sword, a little short sword, and pulls it out around. Still kind of crouched down in front of both of you, positive she's definitely going to die, but does not back down at all. Doesn't even really seem to be afraid. A smile on her face. That's because you know nothing of the glorious endeavor. Roshin.
See, now you're starting to sound like those cultists that I keep hearing about, too. They're all dead also, so I understand.
They're also monkeys.
Bonk.
Bonk.
Go to cultist jail.
Actually, that red mist is going to start to flow up and start to close Roshin's wounds.
Okay.
Moderate curse activated at the end of the last turn. Bonk. Yeah, see, it's learning 30.
30 hits.
It got bonked.
And I get damage bonus from curse now, so that's going to be a little more. 12.
Bonk.
Backup weapon don't do nearly as much damage as the one I left in the stairs.
I mean, I'm using a clan dagger, so.
He's literally beating with a pummel of kind of. No one's in their element here.
Bonk. That's less. That's 24.
24, she's gonna kind of duck down and shoulder with her armor.
I'll fish for a 20.
Get in there.
I did not get a 20.
Eleonora.
Raise shield. I'm hasty.
All right, hasted you.
Well, I'm gonna run towards that golem. I'm gonna tumble through.
What's your speed right now?
40.
Oh, you're still panache? Or just 40 base?
It's just 40
I
base.
get
Holy
half.
crap.
I get half my panache bonus.
5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 40. Holy crap, yeah, you can tumble through the
Yes.
entire golem.
But I'm gonna tumble through and then I'm gonna go down. I'm actually gonna tumble through its legs and be in a position where I'm flanking with Marshall.
Woo!
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. You're like, we got to give Marshall a little bit of an edge here. Just a little bit.
She's got a style.
Yeah. Just you see her run through one leg, weave back around, and come back where she pretty much started. And for the first swing, a natural
Natural 20.
Did you tumble through?
Yeah, I rolled an 18. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, you probably.
Yeah, I plus a 21, so 20 out of 39 again.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
So the natural 20, as you duck under it and slash up, that's obviously going to critically succeed. Severing a great amount of the cables and pumps throughout this thing that are starting to lose pressure from the damage that Marshall is beating into it.
All right. Well, this is fun. For 26 normal damage and 4 frost damage.
That's the double?
Yeah. I rolled
I
low.
was like, I was double checking.
Isn't your weapon forceful?
So yeah, it has the first swing.
Yep.
That is
Oh, okay.
26, math,
So
14 plus 4, 18. Okay. Just barely does not bring this thing down, but this chop cleaving almost cleared through these tubes and one of the wooden limbs entirely, dropping the thing down to a stilted, almost kneeling position, where its shoulder catches on the edge of the stairwell, just holding it up. And out from this severed leg sprays forth an incredibly corrosive chemical. I need a reflex save from you and Marshall.
my apologies. 36, and if it's a success, it's
It is a success.
a crit
So
success.
that's a crit success. Suffer not the consequences
I
of your
rolled
own
the wrong die,
actions.
too.
Others will
Oh, well.
suffer for you.
What'd you get?
24.
4 is going to fail. You are going to take an amount of acid damage, which is 32.
And with that, you just see Marshall thud.
We better wrap up this dance quick, man.
Final
I got him.
spray.
For the first time in this campaign, Marshall is
This
finally
the
down.
massive monstrosity.
Do I get the credit for taking Marshall down?
Yes.
Perfect. Final blow is going to be a confident finisher
All right.
because I'm confident in my abilities.
And because the thing is not even legally standing anymore.
It's a 19 to hit.
I thought you were confident.
I am confident. It takes half of my precise damage
What kind of damage is that?
slashing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can overcome its resistance.
I'm confident. 9.
No.
Pink.
Yeah, I kind
So
of
he
got
actually
unnerved. I
does go
watched
here
this.
because he moves before the initiative modifier of the,
Of the person
that
who
killed
dropped him.
So he is actually now before Eleanor.
I kind of feel
God.
seeing that happen. She actually like,
And you see it just spray through it and burn through Marshall's greaves, just evaporating the skin and even the sinew off of the front of his legs as his knees just buckle and he falls down to the ground.
When the tank falls, you know it's bad.
Trishik.
All right.
oh, it's a
Well,
lot sturdier than that.
I see a
I normally am.
fantastic
He's got like
opportunity.
50 puncture wounds.
Well, see, to my defense,
He
I
looks
didn't
like
see that
Swiss
happen at all.
cheese.
They are like, yeah, they're all like, they're big needles, but there's no needles that are punching in.
And I didn't see any of the needles go through them. I've been in the other room the entire time.
That's true.
You've been in that room and in that room and then
All
back
right.
in that room.
I'm gonna move over across from where Eleonora is, and I'm gonna run up this thing's extended arm as it goes down for Marshall one last time in an attempt to shatter my now what is basically just a nightstick and beat across its shell.
Crit it.
Please avenge me.
No, no,
So-
no.
That is a 24.
Oh, that actually misses
Oh, wow,
entirely.
okay.
That was the opposite side. As it's kind of collapsing, it's hard to predict what it's going to do. Its movements are erratic, as its internal instructions, its magical programming don't really know what to do given the situation. It's clearly trying to move a foot that is no longer there to right itself.
Well, before I pop down off my location of advantage here, one more swing for a 33.
33 will hit.
Please don't explode.
Because I actually don't get my dexterity to attack with
Oh
it.
yeah, it's not finesse.
If that was my dagger in my hands, that would have been a crit.
Oh, that's great. Knock Marshall further down the dying.
So
He's only
that is
He's fine.
I got him.
17 bludgeoning damage,
And with that,
shattering
Trishik,
the dome.
as you crush the dome as this thing slumps against the wall already, the brain, the damage to the components beneath, having severed it completely, plops out with a wet just onto the stone underneath this thing, as the now unpowered golem just collapses into a heap of wood and glass shards. Valia, meanwhile, is it the end of your next turn? Oh, they're still flat-footed. The end of her next turn. Oh, it's poking time.
She's gonna poke him on.
Go get
I'm
him,
done with
strikers.
poking.
28. This is gonna hit on the first strike, and she's already down to her knees. And let me just roll this second one here. Is that also gonna hit? It's not actually agile, but 30. Yeah, I don't need to do math. He's definitely dead. With a quick pair of blows here. And before this Scarlet Agent can say anymore. 1-2. Drawing the rapier back. Still very much in a defensive position here. Standing at the ready. In case it wasn't enough, or in case through all odds, the Scarlet Alchemist continues to just fight on. The fight is clearly over as she withdraws the rapier from the second blow. Her body slumping lifelessly to the ground is Resume.
Runs over to Marshall, and starts pouring incense on him, going, "No, no, 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 not now." Not now. Get back up. Come on. Smelling salts.
Essential oils will cure acid burns.
That's genius. Yes, use the alcohol.
There you go.
All the rest of the peons. Thank you.
As he just dumps it.
And with that, the sounds of battle finally here, falling silent once more. The crash and creak of wood, glass, and metal, all in a cacophonous rackets from the fight, ending
19 points of healing and get back up.
here at 19.
I'll take care of you more in a second.
Marshall wakes up probably in great pain.
This is exactly what happens. Well, technically, he shrunk down after he fell over because
you lose your rage ends.
yeah, I lose everything. Period. I got back up. Oh, Missy, this is only the second time I've ever tasted death or close to it.
Oh, that's not what death tastes like. That's patchouli.
Is that why it tastes like them damn elves?
Elves don't taste like patchouli.
We have no idea what Marshall's hallucinating as he passes out, but he's going to get a hero points. From Crimson Nexus, Marshall, you are not allowed to die.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
That's illegal. As he comes to,
Nobody merges dwarf.
we should take our midstream break.
Yes.
That's a little bit past midstream.
This, I can see the rotation of please I have to pee coming from Derp over here. So
He's not the only
everyone, we're going to stand up. We're going to refresh our beverages, stretch our legs a bit, move around. Encourage you to do the same if you're hanging out for the whole show, but don't go too far. We'll be back in a couple of minutes to clean this up, continue on, and see what more lies higher in Tannesen Tower. But as we had left off, the din of battle had finally ended. The pair of alchemical golems. Marshall did a fantastic job of doing a bunch of damage, but also predominantly standing there and getting punched in the face repeatedly, which he is fantastic at doing, while everyone else got to go play on the playground. And Marshall
It's
just had to
okay,
look
kids. I got
sadly through the window as he beat an alchemical golem down on the side. The friggin' Squidward meme of him just punching a golem in the distance and the party running around with all these little mooks getting to just do all their cool swashbuckler stuff.
Sir, I think you just gave yourself an idea for the next highlight.
I have to. That's not a thing that happened. I got an idea for a stupid meme. The highlight's a very different thing. But after we had moved to the break time, I do see there was another hero point that had come out here from Jayazo, going to Eleonora, because it takes a real hero to down the barbarian.
That's what heroes do.
That's what heroes do.
Yeah.
As you guys once told me, everything we do is heroic.
Has the enemy ever downed Marshall?
That was the first
No.
time he ever went down.
That's
period.
the first time I ever went down
Yeah.
in the
So
campaign.
I saved your streak.
Yeah, the enemy has still proceeded to
This
not
is
down
true.
you.
Okay, so I'm less angry about it. Got it.
But with Marshall having been brought around by a whole bunch of the restorative tinctures and oils and whatnot that Resume now brews up on a daily basis,
Some healing crystals.
some healing crystals, we are left with Valia. She takes these 2 quick strikes. Her defensive posture drops pretty quickly as a pained expression goes over her face. And she kneels down to the ground.
Well, not about as well as it could have, all right?
Not the best I see. Oh my
Marshall.
goodness gracious, Marshall.
I got him. Marshall,
Yes, dear.
it's all right. It's going to be okay.
Oh, I feel like cheese.
Do you know why? Because you're about to not be full of holes, full of alchemical things that are in you. I'm not even really sure what they are.
I don't think
you
I know either.
smell different than I'm used to you smelling.
And he would, I imagine, as
He just goes to like sniff at himself and he's like,
as awful as images, laid out on the ground here and been poked so many times with these large, these alchemical blasts from the golem, it probably looks like a balloon. Like, actually just bloated from the amount of alchemy that's been stuck forcibly into his body.
You will, no, that's a level 5.
While you do math, Trishik,
You need an extra die then.
you need a hero point back, comrade. Sword item in the chat, Trishik, because the bad guy, the stew, still makes me laugh. And it's illegal to be empty of coins.
Eleonora is gonna actually walk into the other room, the empty room.
Take 70 points of healing.
I will take that. He feels a lot better, but he's still pretty messed up there.
And as you As you heal him up, I imagine his body stitching it back together is literally going to shoot like multicolored streams, like little fountains of liquid out of all these various holes as his body forces out all of these toxins.
So because of her healing magic, she's actually made them non-toxic. So actually what it is it's like vanilla and all of these different like scents.
I was just thinking like crayon goop. Just
Nope. He's literally spraying out.
Thinking like you poke a water balloon and coming out.
No,
with like 7 of them.
he is literally the Bath and Body Works dwarf right now.
I don't know if that's better.
Honestly, no.
I
where'd
don't
the glitter
think
come
it's
from?
better.
This
is a very painful image.
To use a healing spell that is far more reasonable, which is where it takes the blood off the ground and forces it back in your body.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's not
Yeah, I mean, come on, that's like.
And Valia gets to experience that one.
do tell me, do we have any psychotic potions like drink for a bit of healing?
Oh,
I was gonna drink one of her lesser potions.
She gets 54 back.
Okay, so you're off in a room by yourself.
Yep, I'm off by myself doing my thing.
I'm going to try to conserve my magic a bit, but here, take one of these. No, that's actually just a normal healing potion, the 3d6 plus 6.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm giving you.
While they're doing that, I'm like, well, I feel like they're still lit on me, so he's gonna do his medicine check and.
Like vomit on the floor?
Taste the rainbow. Reject the rainbow.
15 exactly.
So you start. How you doing, buddy? How's it going over there? That succeeds exactly. You get 2d8 health back.
How much?
2d8.
2d8. Okay.
Yay, battle medicine.
Yay. I mean, that's still 9 points. That's still pretty good.
There you go.
Yay. He literally, you at this point, you literally see him purge out a rainbow of liquids.
That's like crackling and corroding the floor, and some of it catches fire as it comes out, and some of it freezes the stone. Like,
I'm super happy I ain't in that room right now.
That was last year's scent. That was very clever of you.
So Roshin's gonna.
I learned from the best.
I think Marshall needs a bit more help here. Roshin's gonna give him 2 level 1s and 1 level 2. I'm just gonna roll them all together at the same time.
okay, so you and Valia come out of this room, and you start casting your magic. And Valia, staggering a bit, stops and just leans against the door frame, and starts feeling under belt pouches for something.
50.
50. Much better.
Ooh, it's turquoise now.
And Roshin's not looking too good.
He just
so
kind of,
I'll-
after
like, level 2.
everything
Two of
is
you are
like
both
rained
kinda
out,
just
he's still pretty
limping out of
scruffed
the
up.
room.
Like he's got like a hole or two in his skin, but he's at least like, he's like cracking his neck. He's like, I think I'm ready for round 2, I guess.
Marshall, is that a hummingbird? Oh, no, it was just an illusion.
There's no sign of the wizard. Ilvarashma doesn't appear to be here, so he must be higher up.
Oh, Trushik did say there was one more floor above us, and he said it was the last one, in fact.
I mean, there are lots of signs on those doors, but I didn't see anyone that said wizard behind this.
I don't see you. She turns and looks in the room and sees Eleanor. I imagine still with some potions. I don't see him in either of these chambers, and I doubt he's hiding out in the storage closet.
Eleonora, before we head up these stairs into a room with a possibly evil wizard doing only the gods know what to us, perhaps you would like to explain why it is you're drinking those potions.
I'd much prefer them over healing magic. Is that a good enough answer for now? Because otherwise I don't really want to explain it.
Heal magic doesn't seem to work on her. At least it didn't work when I tried it.
I've noticed. You have to admit that's a bit suspicious.
Oh, it's suspicious. Well, it's odd, I get
Marshall.
that.
Yeah.
I do apologize for that last strike. I didn't expect it to do so much collateral damage.
It's all right, Missy. I was on death's door anyway, so I kind of expected it.
Well, if you're fine with it, then I guess I'll just put it out of my mind.
Yep.
For what is worth, we do have much alchemical stuff. Perhaps is more healing.
That might be worth a quick case. Why don't you see what you can find, but we best not tarry. You never know telling when reinforcements may come, and we shouldn't dally.
I'll stand by the door.
Resme will look you up and down and say, "We are going to address this later."
And I would like to look over the rooms for anything we could use.
And Valia in the doorway here, she finally gets something out of her side pouch here. What looks like almost a little white bead of putty or clay or something, almost like a gum, and pushes it into her mouth and bites down on it. Well, see if there's anything interesting or useful here. Yeah, I suppose this is Trishika walks past her in the room.
Oh, I'll join you.
I guess Roshin will then check the guys and check the corpses and see what they have on them while they're looking through drawers and whatnot.
If one of you'd be so kind as to check storage.
In Iruxi, she'll actually say to you, she's new to the party. I know she's related to Buddy, but keep an eye on that one.
How she takes healing is not of my concern. As long as she fights for us, I have no problem.
I've become more suspicious in my old age.
Are you not child?
No, I suppose I still am, but I'm 20 now.
That still make you child.
But it was my birthday.
Yes.
Well, I'm less child.
Still much child.
Really?
As far as I'm concerned.
When do I not get to be a child?
Give it the bill.
Is this still in a Roxy?
Yes.
Yeah, we're just talking back and forth in a
You just hear lizard noises.
while we're looking around the room.
Friggin' purple tongue.
I would imagine Eruxi's not dissimilar from Draconic.
Probably not, honestly. It would probably be
More hissy.
somewhat the
Lot
same
more hissy.
thing. It's almost, it could almost be like low draconic, probably. Something much comparable.
It's like Cockney Draconic.
Oi!
Cockney. Roshin, was it, I believe? Any more of those potions by chance?
Potions. I have one here in
And then
reserve.
she reaches up and grabs one of the bolts that's into her chest and just grits her teeth and wrenches it out.
Oh, you're in a state, yes, aren't you?
Wasn't pleasant. I've been worse, admittedly, but
I can spare it here. And Krasach and throw another level 4 heal on her. 13, 45.
45. She's gonna look about half better. But as that does help with the worst of it, seems to stand up a little bit straighter and looks at you. Thank you. Now, she quickly turns and glances and sees Resme and Trishik looking through the lab, speaking in a language she doesn't understand at all. She reaches down and pulls a small book off her hip.
Don't!
So you,
From behind me, I can sense her taking the book out.
what is that little book you keep reaching for?
Please don't ask. Please don't ask. Please don't
It's
ask.
a etiquette manual. Picked it up back in Talbot. It covers all sorts of various basic interactions and situations to maintain proper manner.
Proper manner. Oh, it's like being polite and stuff. There's actually a finishing school in town. You should think about signing up for it.
I don't recommend going to a finishing school.
Please, I had much enough of that in my younger years. But still, it's good to ensure that things are held properly, and standards are always changing.
So you buy a new book every now and then.
Yearly, generally.
It's gracious, you actually do.
They have new publications, but I'm not always able to pick them up as soon as I can. I just have to hope that I don't make some terrible faux pas I'm unaware of.
I've generally found that as long as you just don't be a jerk to people, they pretty much forgive you for most things.
That don't tend to work out in high society. At this point, I'm walking back in. That don't tend to work in high society.
See,
That it
high
does not.
society isn't exactly a problem that I've had to deal with.
Yeah, I recommend you don't.
Well, in some ways, it's almost just a cleaner manner of expression. There's just as much meaning behind the way you wield your words as their content. It helps to establish order, hierarchies, even in many situations. And it keeps society running cleanly.
At this
Ah.
point, Ellis yawns and walks to the storage room. Had enough of that.
It's a lot of flowery language, but I don't know. My experiences has been much of that stuff tends to not be used for exactly what it said it is.
Well,
As long as it serves you well, though.
brings me comfort at least.
in whatever small, strange way.
It's
Besides-
slightly healthier than the whiskey.
Certainly healthier than Pesh. Terrible habit. She kind of grits her teeth again. Oh, I'll try to keep what focus I can for what still comes.
I have some reserves, but we should save them. Try to be conservative if you can.
I've been through much worse scraps than these with your friend Resme, if you'd believe it.
She spoke about you. You were in Rwangi together, weren't you?
You were, and kindly, I'd hope. I'm afraid I wasn't able to change the outcomes of things there very much, but I watched the outside. Well, whatever happened within, and that's why I'm here now. I'm not going to watch it happen again, as I said.
Oh, very kind of you. But just do the favor and don't run into a room full of enemies by yourself again. You about to give me a heart attack.
I can handle myself. They looked less than capable. And besides, distracted. Want to capitalize on the strategic advantages we have where we were. They came out clearly expecting a different situation than the one they found.
Fair enough then.
Can't miss an opportunity. Not something like that. Especially when we're flying by night here.
Don't be chasing the ghosts now. They won't lead you to a good place.
And she kind of rights herself and resumes her more straight posture, squinting her eyes together a bit. Well, that's from pain or dizziness, really unclear. Right then.
Oh, Resme, do we have another one of those antidotes? It occurs to me she's been shot by an awful lot of those things.
I do.
I think I'm alright. I don't think there's much mess to be out of that. Burnt for a moment, but doesn't seem to be particularly potent.
Valia, I've saved quite a bit in reserve. I can spare some.
And if you must, but I wouldn't want to see any sort of hardship with the rest of you on my behalf here. My reasons here are my own, and I came here alone knowing the risks.
I know, but you see, in the little book that I haven't written, you don't let a friend get hurt if you have the ability to prevent it.
Grabs the book again.
Is she actually looking that up?
Would I have recognized the thing she put in her mouth?
Probably.
Okay.
What do you got for... You got Underworld lore?
12.
Plus, what is your proficiency?
Should be... I'm just trained at the moment.
Roll me a check real quick.
I do have the formula for this particular substance in my book.
You probably recognize Brapesh, yeah.
And I rolled a 24 for a
Yeah.
level 2 item.
You, I'd say even with just a quick little thing, you can certainly recognize Pesh when you see it. It's common enough. You rolling over there?
Healing.
Are you healing her?
57.
Oh, I'll put her back up straight. Good to go? Easy.
Better?
No, level 1, actually.
Much better. Now, Trishik and Resme, as you look through the area in the alchemy laboratory here, you actually find a lot of things. What's set up on these tables, brewing and distilling in various forms of completion in various states, is a wide variety of almost entirely poisons and toxins. Vastly majoritively unfinished, but not entirely. Alongside that, there are a couple of other supplies that look like they were brought in rather than created here, as the packaging is much different than the simple vials and bottles that the Scarlet Triad seem to have hauled up here with them. All of the experiments running on the different tables are completely distinct, not just making different things, but using different methodology even, as if the three that have been in here are just literally doing their own thing at different tables for...
They were hired for their skill, not for their workmanship.
Yeah, for whatever purpose. And there is precious few bits of notation beyond the simplest alchemical formulas and some remarks on ongoing or past experience that would need more context to tell you anything.
Unscientific dilettante.
Regardless, you would actually find quite a few things still of some good use here. A pack of 4 greater bottled lightnings.
Ooh, it's electric.
So, for what it's worth, with the inventor
I'll take
feat
those.
and my ability to understand and recreate formulas, if I was given enough time, could I figure anything out from this room?
Given enough time, you could probably suss out what everyone was doing here. That's just a matter of doing it and
Yeah, when we're
having to
done
perform
here.
a decent amount of your own time and experiments here. You would also, along with those, find 3 mutagens. Kind of similar to what you make, but I have literally only ever heard drink Drakeheart mutagens. Do you make anything else at all?
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, right? It's the other one. Juggernaut and Drakeheart. This is much different. This one seeming to have a much more muted effect that doesn't warp your body or your physiology nearly as much and would require some identification. Additionally, there is a tin a little longer than a palm, squared, made of a brass or coppery metal, but encrusted with gemstones around its lid that looks quite valuable itself, that has separated into little paper packets, 4 different doses of something. There's also 6 moderate healing potions.
Moderate is what?
I haven't gotten those yet, so
5d. No, it's a elixir of life. 3d8 plus 10.
ooh.
I will go on ahead
6
and
of those.
drink one of those.
5 of those.
3d6 plus 10?
3d8 plus 10.
8. Okay.
We should split this up and give one to everybody. That way they have them.
I agree.
Just in case, not a bad idea.
And 2 more small vials containing something that appears to be not quite alchemical, but magical in nature. Enchanted potions of some form that were clearly brought from offsite.
And how many of those mystery potions are there?
You have 2 mystery potions, 4 doses of something in the gem-encrusted tin, and 3 mutagens of some kind, and 4 greater bottle lightnings, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Okay.
How long does it take to identify alchemical?
10 minutes.
Not for me.
We don't have. 10.
Do you have quick alchemy identification or
Yeah,
quick
quick
magic?
identify.
That's
It's
right.
magic.
It's
You
just
can
magic.
you can go over the potions though.
The magic one, so.
Yeah, with your magic detection, the 2 potions are in fact just magical. They're not alchemical in nature, so you
Okay.
can try to identify them quickly.
If I have the formula for a poison or something like that,
So
can
you'd be able to identify it pretty quickly.
That's
but-
just a 25, so I
Pretty
don't
sure
think
you
I'm
don't
going to get
have
it.
I have all poisons and useful things like that below 9th level.
Yeah, you don't have this.
Okay.
It's you can clearly tell it's something quite powerful. That's just from the value of the tin it's kept in alone. It's clearly very strong. It does appear to be a poison, just by its general nature, its texture. It's a version of application of poison generally used in contact poisons, why they're contained as they are, where the thing itself is almost like a little ball of rubber or Play-Doh that you just rub across whatever surface you want to use it on. Ideally with gloves, obviously, so you don't immediately kill yourself. But yeah, you would have absolutely no idea what they are.
I suppose I'll pick up the poisons for now and stow them away.
I have no idea what these potions are. I just don't have enough light or time or concentration really to look at them.
It is okay. After we deal with the wizard upstairs, it should not be a problem.
Plenty of time to kick to.
Now, there were some more poisons that you may be able to more easily identify that these alchemists had on them. On them around the tables that clearly were created here. That was all the stuff that looks like it was brought offsite. Each of them
I
has
have
a plus.
wyvern, spider root, lich dust, and
You do not have this.
okay.
I promise you don't have these. Has a +1 short sword, so you get 4 more +1 short swords.
Not striking.
Not striking. They were just swinging.
No, they just look normal. They're not that striking.
Also an assortment of simple mundane daggers and light crossbows and bolt racks that at this point are probably not worth
Incidental.
they're incidental loot. Where was it? But each of these alchemists would have had in here a total of 4 sets of expanded alchemist tools. If anybody wanted some of them.
Yeah.
I'll definitely take one.
Yeah, I'll take one too.
And each of them would also. Oh, they have a +1 short sword, but they do have a +1 striking crossbow. So also 4 +1 striking crossbows.
The 4 + 1 monies.
4 +1 money bows.
Yeah.
And you got the healing kit?
As well as a total of 8 doses
There are no healing kits.
of a strange
Okay.
poison that you have never seen before. They have it contained in tiny, almost square metal containers. Stoppered not just with a cork, but also smeared around the edges of the cork with a clay-like substance that has sealed it completely.
4 doses of mystery poison.
8 doses of mystery. 4 doses of mystery poison from the 10 mystery contact poison. 8 doses of mystery poison from the alchemists themselves.
What kind of poison does it appear to be?
You have no idea. You have a tiny box.
Oh, like I can't see the poison.
No, it's not. It's opaque. It's not just. It's like a silver tin with a.
Pop one open and take a look at it.
Make me a fortitude save.
Easy enough.
Obviously, it is against the poison. If you have buffs
Yeah.
for that.
I don't, but
Oh, you still have the antidote in you.
no, I didn't take one.
Oh, that's right, you didn't.
Is
Much better.
Yeah, so 33.
So with 33, as you open this, just the scent that comes out of this tin alone immediately hits you like a fist. And you feel your head swim around. This is clearly an inhaled poison, explaining why the thing is so properly sealed up. But you've worked with a bunch of poisons before. Identifying this will take cautious time and an alchemy kit.
I know not to. What kind of poison is that?
No, but I mean, just it's strong enough that just
Yeah.
opening it in your
Wow.
hands hits you with it without preparations against it.
And these are in little metal containers.
Little metal square containers, right? 8 of them.
Well, those are all getting put with the other unidentified poisons in
You
the bag
have
of
you
holding.
have hit the unidentified poison motherload here.
That looks like it packs quite a punch.
He would literally see Trishik like real as he opens this and stop reading it immediately.
You know, if there's opportunity upstairs, we might find use for him.
Is guess if you breathe it, it'll do bad things. I'm not
Right, that
sure
seems to-
exactly what. But
But I gather that. But we don't care what the bad things are as long as they don't happen to the people that we don't want them to happen to.
but it's in metal. You cannot open without being near it.
Have you tried holding your breath, open it, throw it into a room?
If you want to risk possibly inhaling, gas come out immediately as soon as you pop cork.
You also, with your knowledge as a poisoner yourself, would know that a poison like this, if you just were to like yeet it into a room, would not be concentrated enough to really like have a major effect. If you heated like all 8 of them into a room, maybe. But
It's not like a smoke grenade or anything.
you
like
know, inhaled potions are particularly difficult to apply, and generally
Not if someone's asleep.
can only really be used against like completely helpless or restrained
So we need to
targets.
load
the
it
kind
into
of
a
stuff you do
poison
with this.
tooth.
I was gonna say when Marshall's brute strength, version
So
of
this is like you already have somebody captured, you can expose them, or like you
Okay.
hold them down, restrained, and expose them to it
Okay.
kind of thing.
Or you sneak into their room and hold it in front of them while invisible.
And pray that they sneeze.
Or something like that. Yeah. Inhaled poisons are particularly difficult to take proper advantage. It's not. That's why most adventurers rely on the poison that gets smeared on your sword and then you just beat it into people. Much easier, much cleaner.
Yes, it's probably best not to use poisons and things that we don't know what they do or what the results are. It's not a good policy.
While this is going on, I have a quick question.
I have an answer, probably.
For one of the constructs that got destroyed, is one of their arms, like their stabby hand things, still intact technically?
Yeah, the arms would be largely intact. These things are solid enough that the majority of their framework would still be pretty, because it's not like you were really smashing through the second one with your big axe. You were just beating it a bunch.
I'm taking one of their arms.
Will be particularly difficult to sever, but you are a determined dwarf with a very large weapon who could certainly hack through their elbow limb with some effort. You would find that after chopping against it, the wood is reinforced inside by metal rods and beams. The mechanics that make them move doesn't stop you. You still hack it.
Yeah, I was about to say that doesn't stop me. If anything, I don't even use my axe. I just
You have a strange needle hand.
I literally everyone just walks in on Marshall really doing this. Maybe.
You're gonna stab yourself, you know that, right?
Oh, it's not me. I'm doing the stopping.
You know, this makes me wish we still had the pot of stew left. At least it kept you occupied.
Give me a reflex save.
23.
As you're playing with a multi-jointed thing of several giant needles, you do in fact accidentally prick yourself.
This is why
You
we
take one
don't
damage.
play
Oh no, 1.
with toys.
You're towing a dwarf that makes weapons for a living not to be curious.
Marsha, at least store that thing properly before you start flipping it around
He
all
just
over the
puts it on
place.
his back like his accident.
I got needles dangling out of his back.
Video game.
It'll be fine. Yeah,
It's fine.
It goes in the protagonist's pocket. Can't hurt me anymore.
That's it.
All right. Well, now that we have properly scoured the resources, perhaps we use invisibility again.
This final room that
not
you
going
would
to be of any
have
use.
walked into back there, by the way, Eleonora, that storage area, looks like it's been converted into a bunking area. Quite a few hammocks have been strung up from wall to wall. It's a much smaller space than the rest of the chambers. And they've used that to rack up these bunks as well as they can, along some other smaller cots that have largely been grouped against the back wall.
To be very honest with you, I'd prefer not to do that. From here on out, I don't think we can guarantee that there won't be people able to pierce it, and I'd rather you not get jumped. It's best to all go together. We'll at least know we're there to back you up.
Very well. I will take lead.
Yes, I mean, any hack wizard can see through invisibility. It's not hard.
But can he see me? That is question.
If he's good enough, he certainly can.
So Trishik is going to be taking the lead here.
10 to 15 feet in front of everyone else.
Did you pass out those healing potions?
Yes.
Yeah, each of us.
Everybody
if you
has
passed
one, I
me
think.
one, I just passed it to Marshall. I just took it and
Yeah. He immediately was like, I'm gonna need it.
And then it was
Also, oh, yeah,
Rasheen
drink.
and Eleonora
Yep.
like
in the back. Valia's
thank you.
with the group now,
I
so
think you
imagine
owe me an entire feast.
Valia and Marshall will probably be the third rank, and then
Yep.
Resme toward the back here. And then by the power invested in me by Arkenforge, Boop.
Boop.
So cool, dude.
I wouldn't go so far as saying a whole feast. Maybe
A feast.
I'll listen here.
I can eat you. He's proof.
All right, so
Oh,
this is the floor that matters.
The final floor.
Hold on, I have weird things happening.
oh no.
Oh no, we're all gone.
No, it's because I went down a floor. Let me see
Well,
if
I'm
it actually
blind.
shows up. Arkenforge is doing a little bit of weirdness. Yeah, I brought there's a dead bite showing through the floor.
It's
Because
his
she's
ghost.
actually still on the bottom floor. I didn't bring her up with you. She's still on the lower floor.
Sometimes love just ain't enough.
But for some reason, her and the door, because I can't even grab them, they're on the lower floor.
Door ghost.
Just move her off
What
the
if
map.
I just delete them? Yeah. What if you two just go away
I was
from
about
the
to say.
lower floor? Problem
Ah.
solved.
There you
It's
go.
the first issue I've had with that in Arkenforge so far. You a little bit. There's another freaking door. How many doors got dragged up here?
All of them.
No doors anymore.
Door fiends.
No door.
We've been doing too many changes on too many levels, and Arkenforge is getting confused. So, out a little ways ahead of the party here, Trishik. You would once again see this landing that you would come onto previously, that forks into passageways in near every direction after about 20 feet. It is untouched by any of the construction that seemed to have reshaped the levels below, and it's looks like it's still largely as it once was before they started trying to it auto-saved and put more doors. Auto-save popped up, and then every other door okay, I'm deleting every token on the floor. I don't even touch it. It's just like auto-saving doors. Like,
No!
My most powerful in magic.
Doors? How
Summon
about some
door.
Doors.
All the doors.
Dimension doors.
Does Resme know summon door?
I believe I have deleted every door and token on the level you just.
They're gonna
picked up,
appear
so we
again.
Should be okay now.
They're coming back. I know it.
Apple
Say
spell.
that one.
I'm gonna have to put that on the bug reports in the Discord, perhaps. That was a weird one. Oh boy! All right, so you come up and you see this landing devoid of doors. There are not random doors all throughout the floor here, but it is not the complete barren, exposed stone and concrete the lower floors are. The walls are still painted. The floor is still maintained, and in fact, it even has a large carpeted area at the top of this landing. It looks like it just whatever they were doing with Tannesen Tower didn't even get to ripping this floor apart before it stopped.
Okay. Well, standard procedure. There's a sconce in front of me. That sconce needs to be not lit. Boop.
And there are a pair of them in the room, so extinguishing one of them is going to drop the light level a little ways
So,
as the rest of the party.
How
Comes up behind you.
tall is this room in comparison to the doors? Like the hallways?
Each of these rooms is a pretty standard height. It's about probably 12 feet above you, so just like a traditional door, it goes another maybe foot and a half. above the
I could get
doorways.
past these hallways without being necessarily spotted from the hallway itself.
Yeah, the hallways themselves do go all the way to the ceiling. Sorry,
Okay.
I thought you were asking about the doors specifically. The actual hallways that shoot off the walls are floor to ceiling.
Okay, well then I will,
And they're just open passageways.
yeah, I'll just go on over to the other sconce and extinguish that one as well.
And as you move up, you see on the left a passageway leading to a window and a pair of doors. And then on your right, another passageway leading to another window and a pair of doors. But extinguishing this one, the upper floor, as you can see from the outside, has far more windows than the lower levels had. And extinguishing the sconces makes it a little dimmer, but doesn't affect the light level of the top floor enough to drop it to dim lighting. Because most floors have had one or two windows. This one has windows on, like, oh, there's four just shining into this main foyer here.
Well, I will, as I walked past the first hallway, there were 2 doors down this hallway.
2 doors to the left and 1 out to the right.
I would hold up
So
2
yeah.
fingers and point down that hallway. And the same thing for over here.
And you would all also pretty much easily be able to see there's another window. And they're all very similar. Another pair of doors, another window at the end of the northern passage as well. So what is everybody doing as you're moving through this foyer?
I think me and Roshin should go to the doors on the left.
I think we should all go to the same doors together. And in fact, if we're going to go into, I think it's reasonable to assume. But I don't know that. Never mind. If those doors are going to go to the same room, then it would be good to come from both angles. But if they go into different doors, it could just wind up trapping ourselves. It's not a good idea.
I'm not saying go in them, just like
We just destroyed a pair of massive wooden metal golems downstairs and no one came to answer for it. Either they're very busy or there's actually nobody here.
Or
Or this tower's far more insulated from sound than I thought. It's solid stone floors, I suppose.
You would think if it echoed up the stairway at least. Perhaps we should try them one at a time.
And from this northern passageway, this sconce Trishik, you would just be able to, at that point, make out the sound of dwarven laughter coming from this chamber here, the corner to the northeast.
I'll sneak over to that door and just hold up a hand, trying to make as little noise as I possibly can, not speaking or anything, and just looking over this door. Is it lockable?
The door does not look like it possesses a lock at all, no. All of the doors in here are actually very similar. They are traditional, standard wooden doors with but a single doorknob. None of them possessed any locks.
Putting my ear up to the door, does it sound like I guess what would be equivalent to like a lunchroom of sorts? Like there's
The
other
door,
people in there.
while it looks pretty basic, is decently thick based on how well it's meeting the sound coming from inside. But you can hear some more laughter and the voice of a dwarven man inside. It sounds pretty jovial. He sounds in good spirits.
Okay, well then I'll come back over and in a low hushed tone. It appears that we do have a few dwarves, possibly more of that clan. If we would like to use this room first, would be a good place to start, and maybe Resme could deal with it.
Oh yes, of course. The other thing we could do, and I'm not sure how possible it is, but I've seen it in one of the stories my mother's told me. You can put a bar between the 2 doors so that the people inside them can't open the doors because the bar keeps both the doors closed.
The doors look like they open inwards. Hinges aren't on your side.
Damn, nothing's ever on our side.
Between the lack of locks and the hinges being on the inside, it looks like all of these rooms were designed for ease of access to get into, not to get out of. It's possible they were classrooms or dormitories of some kind.
I mean,
Well, I suppose.
if you wanna stop the doors from opening, you can always just tie rope between the 2 handles. That way, when they try to pull, they're actually pulling against the other door. We used to do that. My big brother. We'd lock them in the rooms that
Yeah,
way.
the north and the left hallway both have a pair of doors 5 feet across, exactly apart across from each other.
I mean that is plausible.
Oh,
So
I have.
I saw a second door to this room over here, right?
You would have seen one door only to the south in
Okay.
that hallway. That would have led into this chamber.
Well, that could be
The
a good way to
resumes up against the wall.
That could be a good way to secure the portals to keep them from being able to come out. At least buy some time.
I have a lesser rope of climbing. It's very, very sturdy.
If you would like, I could tie doors.
Yeah. Yes. She'll take her rope
Take
off.
that rope from you, and I'll
magic.
scoot on over there.
Who would have thought a prank that me and Bew used to pull on my big brother would come in handy in an actual combat
Tie the
situation?
doorknobs together.
I'm glad that my storybook and your prank have worked very well together.
Give me a thievery check.
Yeah.
That's a 23.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, it's not like again, it's just for reference here. You're trying to do this emphasis on quietly and effectively. You get a knot secured around each of the door frames. The rope relatively taut between them. The rope of climbing way too long for this, so still a huge bundle of it just kind of dangling from the second doorknob down to the floor. But you have successfully tied them together. Someone would have to be able to yank on this hard enough to either break the rope, break the door handle, or pull the knot off of the knob entirely.
Well, at least we'll hear them.
So since they are secured, so we check some of the other ones, make sure that there isn't anything that's going to get us from behind?
Sure.
Perhaps that, what do you think? Which way do you think?
Or left.
Well, I'm going to pull my own rope out and come over here and repeat that process.
Oh, perfect. Well, I guess we'll do the one that's left.
You want me to roll again?
Yeah, give me another thievery check.
This reminds me of the time we did it both to my big brother.
for the athletics check to yank it open.
Yeah, that's the exact same roll.
Okay, so 23 and 23.
Reminds me of the time we did it to both my brother and my big sister. Oh boy, was she irate for days.
If we would
Now
like, we
the northern one having a magical rope is going to make it, I'm going to give it a +4-ish because it's going to be much harder to pull on because the rope is both super naturally strong and also very much wants to stay where it is. That's what the enchantment does. You can literally climb it, like free climb it, whereas a normal rope is a normal rope. You got two sets of doors tied together.
we do have a third door that was by itself. So
And it's
Old-fashioned way.
And it's lonely. We should really go.
Who's
Make
taking
sure.
the lead here?
I am.
Taking the lead to the door?
Yep.
I guess Roshi right behind him.
And then Marshall.
Perhaps you should let me go in. That way, if I do need to do something rather magical and scary, I don't have all of you in my way.
Valia will wait because we are kind of in a hallway here. We can't really cloud car everybody.
I'll wait outside in that little foyer.
Yeah, she's going to wait up by the corner to this northern hallway. Her rapier is ready up against the wall where she can clearly see down this hallway towards the group of you should anything happen or should anyone try to come from behind. Eleanor and Resme all but forced to wait out in the fire as well because of the amount of space that exists.
I've got that second corrosive arrow loaded into my bow.
I really think I'm fine.
And just attempting to be as quiet as I can, I'll open that door and take a peek.
All right. Push the door open and step forth to peer into the room. They do, in fact, look like they were dormitories. Even inside the stairwell, there is still yet another window here. There is plenty of light pouring into this upper level of the tower, as clearly it was meant to be a living space. This one again looks like it has not been touched very much. It's still just sort of there. 3 beds around the area are the only features of furniture really available in a fairly plain room. There's a sconce on the wall, but this one's unlit. There are 2 people in here, however. Each of them would be shackled to one end of the bed directly in front of you. A man and a woman. The man, very bloodied, black and blue, clearly has been beaten pretty severely, all but slumped against the head of the bed and the stone of the outside of the tower, with his one wrist still shackled to the bed frame itself. And the other at the foot, a woman who's almost pulled herself as far away out into the middle of the room as she can, to the point where her arm is out behind her, and she's just sat, almost an upright fetal position, other arm drawn around her knees. And she's got fairly long would normally be straight black hair. It's pretty unkempt, clearly hasn't been tended to in some time, and she's dressed in incredibly plain cloth. And she looks up at Trishik as the door opens with massive bags under her eyes and a completely just gaunt face. She looks emaciated almost.
And my hand not on my bow is just going to come up in a hush symbol.
Just looks at you. Doesn't say anything.
I will wave back to Roshin.
Roshin's gonna follow her in, kind of take a look, and frown pretty severely when she sees the state of them.
I'll come in since they haven't told us not to.
I'll stand
That
by.
would be to get everybody to like start coming in because we have room now.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna stand by the door. Keep watch.
I'll go over to the girl and start picking her lock.
Hold on a minute. We've been fooled before. What's your name?
Stopwell. Stopwell. Please. Do not with them. Please, just let me free.
Very good, my dear. Touch this, and she's going to hold out the head of her morning star, just in her hand, not holding it by the handle, but just asking her to touch the cold iron.
What game is this?
Making sure you're what you appear to be.
She'll reach up and just kind of gently put a couple fingers on it. And just looking, and you can see tears start welling up in her eyes, but it doesn't appear to be from touching the mace at all. She doesn't have any reaction. She just kind of touches it. Probably pretty bloodied, I imagine, for the beatings that it has handed out recently.
Well, I don't know. I haven't actually managed to hit people with it very well. So
That's
maybe
fair.
not.
Might be perfectly clean. You got a bonk. You got one solid
I got
bonk.
one solid bonk. Good enough for me. Let's get her out.
God. I'll pick the lock.
What is a story of a man?
I beat him to death just for fun. Please, just let me out of here. I just want to go home.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a nat 20.
So you pretty easily reach through, and she's in scarlet insignia emblazoned manacles, and near all of them carry on their hips, save the alchemists on the floor below. But as you pick through and are quickly able to pop this, and you let her out, she is immediately going to, not quickly, but reach back with her hand and push herself up and move towards the door if nobody's gonna literally physically stop her.
I'm going to physically stop her, and I'm gonna wrap my cloak around her. I'm gonna actually take off my velvet cloak
Just
and
kinda
wrap it around
freezes,
her.
like,
There are still men. We came to this room first. Everyone downstairs is taken care of. But there are still men.
I know what the stairs are, please.
Just telling you to be quiet. We have not dealt with everyone. Be careful.
Do you know where you'll go?
Doesn't matter, not here.
Look, I want you to go, and she'll give her the name of the tavern where they're keeping where they hide slaves, and they'll give her someplace to stay.
The busted up coffee
the
shops?
destroyed coffee house?
No, the school.
Oh, the school for girls?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
The charm school?
Lady Glores.
Yeah, tell her that you're with us and that you were rescued. She'll protect you.
I could just go home. Right?
If you go home and we fail to eradicate problem, they could come for you again. Until we can come back and confirm problem has been solved, it's better to go there and be safe.
If you don't feel confident going there, go to the guards. But don't go home by yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you. And but still with this cloak, she will just move past everyone, and Valia and Eleanor, you'll see her come out, and she is absolutely gone. Like, she looks like she hasn't been fed in days. And even just getting up and walking through the doorway, she stumbles a bit and leans on the wall a little.
Here.
And
I'll give her my water skin and some rations. Take this.
she will take it and just right there, pop it open and immediately just start drinking out this water skin. Just downing it. And a water skin holds a pretty decent amount of water,
Yeah.
but she'd go through at least like half of this just in one thing, completely recklessly. Water spewing at her on the side some, and just her haste before just cramming some of your trail rations in her mouth, almost frantically.
Roshin's gonna check the man while she's doing that, just to double
Doesn't
check.
take a heal check to ensure that he is in fact dead.
Okay.
It looks like he had succumbed to his wounds some time ago. He hasn't been here for terribly long because nothing more than just the flies have really started to come around him. He hasn't started to decompose at all, but
Does he have any symbols or anything on him?
he has nothing. They both have incredibly plain, just simple burlap shirts and shorts that surely the Scarlet Triad have just put on them. They've taken everything. He's still shackled to the bed, so it's assumed that it's an easy guess that he was probably still alive when he was put here, and either just bled out or was actually just beaten to death on the spot.
Do you know why you were taken?
I don't know.
It's okay.
Thank you for this, but I have to go.
No, go.
And she will take your water skin.
That's fine. She can have it.
She will leave with it. Down, hurrying towards the stairs. As she gets into the foyer, almost in a panic, this stumbling walk accelerating into a near sprint that she can barely maintain out to the wall. Her feet, bare feet, pounding against the stone as she makes her way down the stairs and out of sight.
Thankfully, walls appear to be pretty thick. I could barely hear the party happening in another room.
Resme will have teared up a little, and she'll be wiping them away.
I'm rather of the opinion we should go and clear that room out. Give him something to party about.
Resme's eyes will actually almost glow with fire and say, "Let me have them first."
Before we deal with a group of men, we have room across. We check first.
Point me at something.
Very good. Let's go.
You come out of the hallway and come back around into the foyer. As Trishik and Rasheen in the front, I imagine, are passing by. Valia is still in her position here. I just turn. What the hell was that?
Prisoner. She was in terrible shape. Another one in there too. But,
Couldn't risk
too
her
late for
being
him.
here.
I thought they came here to take slaves. What's the point of a slave that's barely alive?
These tyrants are sadistic.
They did have golems simply for what appeared to be protection. There is no telling what their intentions were.
I've been listening while I'm here. I can hear that, whatever you were hearing from that northeastern room. It sounds low, dwarven male, probably. It seems like they're having a jolly old time. Someone, and she just kind of places a hand against the northern wall, northwest across that. Someone in here as well. It's much lower. It sounds almost like a chanting, maybe singing.
I
That
don't.
will be room after. And I'll point to this one over here. We want to risk disturbing the dwarves as little as possible. We start far, move our way to them.
Just point me at something. Her hands will actually have little electric arcs between them, and a little bit of fire is emanating off of her. She looks like she's about ready to explode at something.
I'll go ahead and undo my rope and pack away the bundle back in the bag of holding and open up the southern facing door.
Right, and as the southern one swings open, you would see again a dormitory, and honestly not a terribly different, but at least far less grim situation. A row of 4 beds here, much larger than the cots the Triad had on the floor below, hold 6 more malnourished men and women, shackled up against the frames of the bed. They look like they equally have not really been fed in some time, but even still, all 6 of them are pretty well built. They're all fairly stocky individuals. That's even to the point where it's clearly visible through what has withered away from malnutrition over what is certainly, at the very least, days. They also look a little in better health, just generally physically, but they look fevered. They look sick. All their faces are red, slicked with sweat. Their eyes bleary. They look near delirious. As they look up to you as you come in, only 2 of the 6 even seem to notice somebody's come into the room.
Resme will come around.
I'll definitely come back into the hall and wave Resme over.
Quite in a state. I don't think they can get themselves out.
I know what they're doing.
And a woman shackled to the second bed. Jam!
I'm going to immediately rush over and cover her mouth.
And she'll like just kind of reach up and.
Roshin,
We are here to help,
they're
but if you make
experimenting on
noise,
them.
we cannot save you.
They're experimenting on
Doesn't
them.
really change your action at all. The other guy who had turned
Pay for it.
Oh,
didn't even seem
God.
to notice you were here. He looks over.
We'll fix it.
I'm going to be sick.
No, you're not. You don't have that luxury. Keep it down.
A walking lizard.
Same goes to you. I do not want to have to tie and gag all of you, but if you make noise, you will draw attention.
Where did they get a walking lizard?
Maybe we should just close the door.
He just sort of reaches out like he's trying to touch Trishik.
We
Like
can
to
come back.
Verify he's even real.
Yeah, we're gonna come back after we're done with everything else. I'm gonna close this door.
Top door enchanting. Let's hit that one.
As you guys are coming back, Marshall just kind of looks like, I looked like that when I was getting stabbed by the robot.
A little bit. And now this door, shock and awe. We do not need to be sneaky.
Resme, you've been waiting for this.
And I'm going to grab that handle and not kicking it open, but opening it quickly and rushing in as we all dive in.
As you throw it open and the group of you swarm into the doorway to fill the area, you burst into yet another bunk room, of course. But this one occupied something much different. There's 4 halflings in here. And 4 sets of manacles still shackled to the bed frames, the other ends hanging pointlessly across the ground. The halflings have already got 3 bed sheets tied together end to end,
Now we're talking.
coiled up, and all 4 of them, as you barge in the door, immediately turn to look at you.
Like I come in, bows up.
Coming ready to murder. And one of them near the front, so he's got blonde hair, largely parted over to one side, and bright amber eyes. Up on the bed, still has a jacket on. It doesn't look like they've even had the time to reclothe them. They clearly have not been here as long as everybody else.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
We're with Nolly.
What?
They did not even take your tools, did they?
No, I did, but... It's nuts. Come on. Who are you?
We work with Nolly.
Dolly.
Yes, she sent us here to help you. Let's get out.
Oh,
And she just kind of motions to the window, and then the bed rolls.
we're already doing that.
Well, we've killed everyone on the bottom floor, so now you can just go the easy way.
Stairs are much easier.
Get out of
That's
here.
greatness. But... Yeah, no, I don't recognize you. You're not Bellflowers. You know operators.
Well,
Technically neither. We are allies of convenience. Common enemy in Scarlet Triad.
Well, I'd like to say we've actually been a bit friendly here. Heck, Nolly actually basically offered to go and induct us if you wanted.
and we killed a demon together. Devil. What? She can sure fling
The
rocks.
halflings all just kind of look at each other.
What in the name of sanity has been happening out here? In some 1 day, 2 days we've been up here? Now you're Longroad. Nice to meet you.
Well, we cleared out your inn.
Your coffee house. It's in a bit
Coffee
of a state,
house.
I'm afraid.
I didn't leave it particularly great, unfortunately. But,
Miss Marchessa's okay, by the way.
oh, it's fantastic news. They got most of the rest of us over there, but, well, you know, it's what we work with what we got. We found the other end of this enough to have picked up a few tricks.
Excellent.
Besides, these manacles are garbage.
Agreed.
As to be expected with the Bellflowers, you're quite capable. We're actually getting ready to go kick the door in and kill everyone in the other rooms.
Ah, if I had a, I don't know, pick of weapons, perhaps I'd come join you. I'd be more than happy to do it at this point.
Do you have,
Sword, crossbow.
Probably,
I have
she
rocks.
takes a couple. Just call it a whole pair of swords.
What is the bloody hell have you been doing to the lots of them?
Killing them. And taking their stuff.
We have wrecked.
Well, you're heroes of Cantargo.
No, we're the heroes of Breach Hill.
Hills
Your
of
orders,
Breach Hill.
order is a torrent. Are you Hell Knights?
No. We're the heroes of Breach Hill.
Do we look like Hell Knights?
And she just
She kind of
slurs.
looks.
Oh, do I look like I know what a Breach Hill is? Look.
Has the swords back to you.
I'm
These are-
getting very tired of this, Severin. Why does nobody know? What have you been doing with all of that money I've been giving you for advertising?
Oi, well,
Oh my god. This is why I should not put my publicity
Business
in your
expenses.
hands. Feathers. I should say no.
Look, these all seem a bit rather large for a halfling. You know, glad to join you if we can, but I can't say I've eaten much in a couple of days.
No, get out of here.
More bravado notwithstanding. Not sure how much help will be in a fight.
Go.
It would be best if you leave, so we do not have to worry about collateral damage.
So that's fair. It'll be best for me to leave so I can get the hell out of here.
Besides, Nolly would very well kill us if we let anything happen to you.
Sure, that's.
She doing fine. You warned me with talks of devils and whatnot. By the way, how much do you know? I don't know.
I know everything. I can fly kites.
And she, makes sense. She turns to the rest of the halflings. And just, it turns out an halfling, for anyone who can understand, tells him, get out of here. Go find Nolly, get back to the coffee house if you need to. It sounds like it's secure. If not, stop by the school for girls. There's no way these idiots got Lady Gora. And,
They certainly didn't.
Well, we don't know what she's saying. Because halflings.
Do you speak? I'm sure she speaks halfling.
Oh my god, you do speak everything!
Duh.
She knows everything.
Kind of turns and raises an eyebrow. You know everything.
I told you.
All right, here. Look, they talked a grand game. Let me coffee house and both of them. They were dragging us in here. I don't think they assumed we'd make it much longer. I'll go down a level, but I ain't fleeing. Not quite yet. Not running home. Deal with whatever's up here. Take out that bastard of a wizard. And I'll talk to you down below. But I imagine, how will they not? Have you already killed him? How's no one coming for this? Did they not hear the fighting downstairs?
I don't know. I'm actually quite suspicious of it all.
It does sound like they're having quite a merry time in the other room.
Always beating them, I'm sure. What is the names? There's a pair of them. What was it? Is it coming here? Well, make their way through somewhat regularly. Seem like they have a great time of it.
Their names will be corpses soon enough.
Never thought I'd be so glad to hear someone else's death. But, screw them. Best of luck.
Do you know, have they given you anything to drink, or have they been doing anything to you?
I'm fine. I'm a halfling. I go through hours on the daily, just walking through the streets. Don't worry about it.
All right.
I'm really glad the group of you met Nolly, for whatever reason. It's fucked out great in my favor so far. Anyway, again, best of luck. And, she pushes past, and turns around, in the hallway. Oh, bloody hell, there's a lot of you. Why'd you bring a damn army? And, looks at, Eleanor and Valia in the foyer. Smiling her a thumbs up, and then heads to the stairs.
To me, the entire Bellflower network appears to be made of halflings, except for Lady Gura's school. But they're not exactly honorary. They're not exactly official members.
Well, it is the Bellflower Network. Mostly halflings.
Isn't that what I just said?
It's
Are
pretty
these
much
windows
all
openable?
halflings.
No,
Makes sense.
I mean, you could force them out of their frames, but they're not. All these up here are different stained glass images of the various deific symbols from the main pantheon of Galarian. You got Sarenrae and Desna and Erastil and Erodin, all the way around. And each of them is more art than an openable window.
I can't believe Severin has eaten all the advertising money again.
I mean, again, we could have a good feast later, huh?
Are you talking literally? He's eating all the advertising money?
No, I'm
Why?
sure he's gone and found himself a bunch of restaurants where he's a guest at, and I'm sure
How is a bird gonna be a guest at a restaurant? Most restaurants I've been to don't even let
Marshall
in a
just
cat.
walks up to you, puts a hand on your shoulder, and is like, Missy, just don't ask. Just don't ask.
I'm a talking bird. If you think I can't get food and drink in any town I want to be in, then you just don't know nothing about talking birds.
Well, I'm assuming most commoners will freak out, scream, and run for the hills when a bird lands down and starts
hear
talking.
The door to the north
Uh-oh.
open,
We got
and
loud.
a bunch of laughter as Eleanor is the only one really positioned to be able to see up in here is one of the dwarves.
Did they
Is
force it open?
set up an armor? Yeah, you would hear it fly open.
Okay.
It's still laughing, but
They're dwarves, dude.
looking down the rope here. I wasn't just stuck. Let's tie this off. And it turns around and looks.
Let me through.
As soon as I lock eyes with him, I do a bow. Someone order a performer.
Let me through.
The He just kind of looks almost confused, like literal slack jawed Eleonora.
Now, literally, like as I'm bowing, I actually put my hand up in the motion, like,
He turns to the doorway. What's this?
well,
And you see another dwarf kind of stick his head around the corner. Oh.
I'm sure you heard of me. Eleonora, I'm a performer, up and coming celebrity.
He's the first dwarf's walking up towards you a little bit.
Would anyone have reacted to the hand signal?
At the end of the doorway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get out of. I mean, I'm pretty much out of the
you-
way.
I'm like
Could've-
up against the wall with my axe, like
Yeah.
ready.
And Valia is still standing there in the open.
I whisper,
And she's just
you know how to play an instrument.
rapier in her hand and kind of a smile, puts a hand up. Evening, gentlemen. Been hired by your Mr. Ilvarashma. Be the evening's entertainment. He just kind of looks at her. Why you got a sword? Part of the performance.
It's a very interesting dance. The dance with the sword. You never seen it before?
And you can tell Valia at this point, she puts on, almost trying to match a bit of your accent as she talks. It's talk of the town. I'm surprised at the amount of time you've been here. You haven't heard nothing about it. Please,
I'm
may
just,
we? And she turns and just kind of looks to Eleonora.
And I turn to her and I do a curt bow, just like we practice. I'm gonna do a
Roll me
gonna-
a deception, first of all.
Okay.
That is fair.
If you want her to take the lead, she can take the lead and you can aid her. She just slip into this immediately.
She looks like she's pretty good.
I was about to say, this is.
Shoot.
So if I hear this talking happening,
Huh?
I'm gonna sneak my way.
You got the whole party of murder hobos around the corner just fighting with weapons.
A very eager dwarf around the corner, just ready to swing.
I'm gonna sneak my way to be standing on the wall above Marshall and Rasheen.
All right, deception.
Or on the ceiling.
I'm
I'm
Yeah.
up there.
Yep.
You want to aid or you want to take the roll?
gonna take the roll.
All right. So she is going to attempt to aid you. She is going to critically succeed, so you're going to get a +3. Because she's a master.
I'm glad someone gave this to me earlier.
She got a 31 to aid you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's 18 on the die plus 16, so 34.
37.
37.
And also, so 37. So, the dwarf still just kind of stand there. You can see that he's got a pretty hefty flail folded up and set on his whip, and he's got armor on. He's even got his helmet. But he's just watching as you're doing whatever you're doing. The other
They're
dwarf
dancing.
that comes all the way out around from the corner here to look as well. Hey, Hans! And the dwarf's like, shh. Go on.
Oh, dancing,
This
folks.
is what you're built
This is
for.
what I'm built for.
Tricking dwarves and dancing for them.
I can't make an impression, can I?
Can't make an impression.
Because I can use
There's a
performance.
feeling
I can
that
use
you-
performance.
To make an
I would let
impression.
you- yeah, I mean, I would let you use performance make an impression, like, actually, because he
He believes,
believes you.
make sure. I'm not sure. This sheet doesn't give me everything I had. I just realized that.
With lies, anything is possible.
Yeah. I'm gonna perform. I'm gonna try to fascinate him, make him my adoring fan.
All right.
What is happening right now? I'm super out of my element. I rolled a 25 on a natural one.
A natural one. See, there. I mean, 25 is still. That's
It's still
certainly
pretty
good,
decent,
but
though.
but like with a natural one, you're. I guess probably not really used to this level of stress while you're trying to perform, and it's quite clear through your performance that you are having a hard time really like
Stop. You guys know any dwarven songs?
focusing here. And the door in the front just kind of looks almost confused by whatever you're doing. Tonka Kintargo. It looks like you can have her. I want the white-haired one.
Perfect.
And he comes out, and the other one comes forward up to the hallway. Taking a step forward is Valia still just kind of standing there, rapier pointed towards you. And
Gonna step back.
you step back.
I tug on what's her face's step back.
So she'll come back to the hallway, and as she takes a step back, she will bow gracefully, pointing in a direction with the rapier, before flipping it around, and in a single flick, so the blade's pointed up down her arm. As she bows your direction. Please, do me too kind. I ain't even started performing yet. You don't know what you're ordering. And Dwarf at the front's like, well, this ain't hers. Between the two of you, you're more my type, Missy.
Find that kind of offensive.
Hey, sis. Eleanor.
Wait a minute, I don't like this anymore. And Valia will step back again, still bowing as she does, and she finally stands upright, and puts her arms out in front of her, and flips the rapier, so it's pointed downward, and kind of leans a bit forward, putting the tip of the rapier on the floor, another end out. Well, Hans, was it? Come here. I'm going to show you exactly what your boss is paying for. And a big old grin on his face. Hans is going to walk right up.
As they
and
say,
get Dr. Stan.
as he's walking up, I actually want to use command attention, so he's watching me and her. Yeah. So just, if he tries to look away, he has to make a roll save.
Arcadis in the chat, stop rolling bad, Eleonora.
Less ones, more funds.
Please.
Less ones, more funds.
Yep.
Thank you kindly. So, command attention, if he tries to just look away from me, he has to roll a will save against my perform DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. He doesn't want to look. He wants to look at Valia.
Yeah, well,
so he's gonna try, but his interest is more that direction.
More his type.
Curtsy shows a little cleavage. He's
Call
suddenly
this the
distracted.
honeypot.
The honeypot.
He is gonna get a 27.
That's gonna fail miserably.
Against class DC, yeah, it's class DC,
class
but
DC?
it's 29.
Yeah, that's gonna fail. So he's looking over at you as he's approaching, and the group of you all see this dwarf walk up, huge beaming grin on his face,
And we keep
looking the opposite direction.
keep stepping back.
He walks up.
Does this count as a surprise round? What we're about to
And,
do to this man?
Can we please boo him?
If the group of you were jumping in at that moment,
Well, if he doesn't look at us,
he is not looking at
Yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, then we're
Like,
taking him.
no, if he doesn't look at us, I'm not gonna move because I hear another one in the background,
Yeah, you know there's another one back there, but like
and I'll put
he's
my
walking
hand.
down a hallway with Marshall with a big axe machine and full plate and Trishik attached to the wall. At the corner.
I'm gonna put my hand down on Marshall's head and just like tap it, just like.
Just so you know, it is a 30-foot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, just.
Roshin is
Not
looking.
yet.
Oh, it's a slaver.
She's white knuckles on her sword here.
Resonate's like halfway to fireball.
I just kind of get to look like just a reminder. I can go through the wall if you want me to.
And
Here, piggy,
Oh.
piggy.
She knows.
as
My
soon-
mistake. Either way, my mistake. They're hiding. They can hide even if they don't actually have concealment from them.
Okay, so they're all. I mean, they're
Yeah.
all.
I mean,
Yeah.
more
so
or less,
That's what it
yes.
is.
Okay, they're all
There's a-
hiding,
It's a whole paragraph of,
and
and it's every creature within 30 feet of me.
and I'll
good.
slap Marshall
As
as
they-
soon as he walks
as he
past.
steps up, Valia has her hand extended. She's still bowed down. The dwarf comes up and kind of takes the hand. And she's just like, and immediately she just grits her teeth. God, you're stupid. Grabs him and flips the rapier around.
I'm just gonna
up
slap
towards him.
Marshall's. What are you wearing right now for armor?
Well, I switch back to the chainmail, I think, or
All
whatever.
right, I'm
it was
gonna
called.
slap your shoulder, ring that bell. We're going.
Ding ding!
Okay,
Round
you literally
one.
Just imagine this: Marshall up against the wall, and he just flips like a pancake through the wall, like a dwarf after Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah!
Hi.
Oi!
So,
Someone order a party? Battle cry.
I think we will roll this initiative
Next session.
when we return.
Yes.
Put the battle cry flag right on the table there.
I want
So
to
you
eat
remember.
the pigs.
And let me give myself a little personal note of order. I'm going to put this one under... What pencil?
Do you know what this means? I am getting the pig.
-6 to initiative.
And don't forget to turn the autosave off.
Pretty well distracted.
Yeah, it's because there's so many doors in the room.
So many doors.
Dwarves. Dwarves.
Doors and dwarves.
Honey pot
Doors and
successful,
dwarves.
comrade. If there's one thing that Valia is at least decent at doing, it seems to be
Lying to people.
playing a role. Yeah. Which is probably to 4 people who don't know her besides just now, but hey, it's working for your favor for right now.
It
so you got
works.
to go for it, which is
You know
nice.
what? Hang out with her in the jungle for a little while with nothing to do but listen to her talk about that book, and then we can see how amusing she is.
I think
But-
Marshall might die a second time at that point.
Gents, it is here. We are going to end our adventures for the evening. On the cusp of this battle, we don't get to play next week.
Say.
But you
Wait
can. but you-
2 weeks
No!
before we pick this one up.
But it's the last one for this year.
Sponsor a rat for Thanksgiving.
You're really big on this sponsor or rat.
But I'm not giving you nothing. Before we go, I can tell you that we are going to have a little bonus on the YouTube, youtube.com/2perception, before everybody flees from the location after this session ends here in a minute or two. We recently hit 500 subscribers on our YouTube channel that we just made for this campaign, so I'm pretty happy about that. And we asked on our Twitter what people wanted, and it seems a behind the scenes of this kind of whole setup and everything that goes into this and how we make this all work. So I'll get that put together within the next couple of days, and at least we'll have that to tide us over until we return in 2 weeks for what should really be the last missed session of the year.
I just want to point out that we've already had one offer to sponsor a rat from a poor college student.
You're
Sponsor
gonna sponsor the rat with food. He's already fat.
They are
We're gonna
incredibly fat.
The point
The
is
rats are
we're
like
gonna have a
obese.
literal rat race. If you guys want it,
We
you
will see you
can
guys.
sponsor a rat.
Ignore,
In 2 weeks.
ignore her. Just
For what is certainly going to be a climactic moment in this Scarlet Triad storyline. The top floor of Tannesen Tower, Brazak Ilvarashma, the wizard responsible for so much strife in Gintargo, is here.
That's not a real
The
name.
superior in the Scarlet Triad's ranks. We've got a hell of a fight ahead of us. And I think we're gonna learn a lot between him and Miss Longroad.
Oh, yes.
Might start getting to actually put together the pieces on what the Scarlet Triad is doing. Thank you all for
Thank
being
you
here.
guys.
Obviously,
So much
would not
fun.
be able to do this show without you. Thank
We
you,
love
Paizo,
you.
of course,
Yep.
for having us. Sorry we got to miss a week, but
Yeah.
holidays are a giant
Yes.
fiesta
And
for
be
everybody all
safe.
the time.
Thank you so
Be safe.
much
Yeah, be
for
safe
the
this holiday
5-to-1 hero point to villain point ratio we had going this
I
session.
still got two.
But you only got one this session. That's
one
the
this
important part. This is how it should be. 5-to-1 people.
what have I gotten? Like 3, and I've already dispelled on everything. I let everyone down today.
No,
Did you?
Yeah.
Not
Did you not
really.
have the peak swashbuckler
To be
comment?
fair-
Destroyed that
To be
room.
fair,
That
you
was
didn't die.
I didn't die.
Good night.
No, you just killed someone.
Everybody.
I kept my promise.
You killed your friends.
See you in a couple
Bye.
weeks.